Hello there, everybody. This video is a segment from my podcast, Fanboy Talk, where we talk spoilers for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. In the full episode, we also talked about the Moon Knight finale, so check that out down below if you want to hear our thoughts on that.
I guess final Moon Knight thought, go watch it if you want, or go read the comic, probably better. Don't watch Miss Marvel, or do watch Miss Marvel. I don't know, I'm not excited for that.
Miss Marvel's gonna be a show, and we're gonna document that. We're gonna document our pain with that show. All right, a quick 30-second spoiler-free talk of Doctor Strange.
Okay, yeah. Really fun. I have a Letterboxd review. Not all of it good, not all of it bad, but super, super, super fun. That was a really fun watch. Compared to this movie, I have not watched a lot of good movies this year, but this was a great movie. So I really like that. Weird script, great performances, kooky visual style that I really loved. Very unique. 4 out of
unique.
5.
Genuinely, you can call this one unique.
I can. It's got a unique style.
Feels right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a video on it, but like, I would say direction top tier. Sam's a god. The story structure is kind of rough for me. It kind of missed out on the idea of Multiverse of Madness of what I was hoping from like a story called that. And you can tell, like, I don't know what the deal is with the behind the scenes of the script and stuff, but like, the script is kind of rough. I say that in like these events don't really fit, like like the build up to certain things of like, where is the, like, that might be an editing thing, but to me that it's not necessarily pacing. It's more so like, what the fuck, where did this come from? You know,
events themselves.
Events themselves of like, this thing just wasn't set up right. And this doesn't feel like it should have existed. It's not a matter of like the scenes were edited weird. It's like scenes are just inherently gone, you know? And again, they might have been, I don't think they were cut.
There was 40 minutes that was cut from this, but I think it wasn't like without Raimi's intent. I think they just cut it down, and then they cut it down a little more.
Yeah.
So,
but that overall a good movie. I've watched it twice now. You've watched it twice, or
you gave it a 3.5, and I give it a 4 because I'm an MCU shill.
I gave it a 3.5 to 4, and you gave it a 3.5 to 4. I'm on your Letterboxd.
Everyone has been giving it. Every review has been either a 75% or an 80%.
Like it's very much like if I were just to watch the first half, it'd be a 3.5.
Yeah.
And if I were just to watch the second half, it would be 4.5.
Yeah.
But it's the middle is like, okay, 4. You know? Like but it depends.
It very much depends from
ratings don't exist. These numbers are never real.
No.
Yeah.
It is just funny that all of them have
I give it a thumbs up.
Oh no! Where did it go?
What the fuck?
Oh no! Your thumb went into the Multiverse of Madness.
Mind. Fuck me. I guess I hate this movie now.
Yeah, it was actually coming out from the bottom.
Yeah. But that's our spoiler-free talk. If you've not seen Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, go see Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then go see Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, and then come back.
Because support your theaters, because they've been showing this shit everywhere. Like it's
fucking
like
70
crazy.
screenings.
70 showings in Times Square. What the fuck, bro?
I mean, it is nice because it's like there's fewer people in the theater.
Yeah.
So I feel safer.
I think that's why they cut it down for 20 minutes too, is that they could have like a fuck ton of showings for it as well.
But yeah, so if you do not want to get spoiled, this is your spoiler warning. We're gonna talk spoilers.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. There you go. All right. I love spaghetti. Spaghetti is yummy. It's very satisfying.
It's extremely tasty to eat spaghetti. Did you get that spoiled for you? Because I know.
Yes, I did.
Got him.
So I had two things, but I had that Jim from The Office is going to be Reed Richards. For the cameo. That was like kind of a rumor for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, that was like a leak and stuff, and I was like, all right, that's probably gonna, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Marvel leaks tend to be pretty accurate, which is shitty.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days before, somebody posted in a Discord the screenshot of him being murdered, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then I was Googling, and then I was on YouTube. I was looking up like the ScreenX thing because I wanted to see how it looked, like the 3 screens, because I was thinking about going to that one.
Yeah.
And right below the search result is Illuminati killed in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I was like,
so many of
damn it.
YouTube's worse than Twitter, honestly, is YouTube auto suggestions. At just giving you the fucking cam heavy.
YouTube doesn't think I like every time I watch a superhero thing, I remove it from my watch history. I delete it from the watch history. YouTube doesn't think I like superheroes. YouTube just recommends me fucking camera shit and tech shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hell yeah, that's nice.
All I got really spoiled for me was that at one point, America Chavez punches Scarlet Witch, and then Reed Richards shows up, and then Black Bolt dies. Those were the things that I knew would happen.
Yeah.
But like, and I also knew that the post credit scene was like Bruce Campbell. That's all
I didn't know
really
that.
knew.
That was a nice surprise. I was
That
very happy with that.
YouTube was kind of going fun with that. So lucky you, you missed out.
We'll talk about that. We can go chronologically like we
Yeah,
usually do.
let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get to the Illuminati stuff.
We'll get to spaghetti. We'll get to spaghetti. The Illuma spaghetti.
We'll get
yeah.
to Mr. Spaghetti.
I guess you could say that spaghetti tasted fantastic.
You thought you had something with that.
I
you
did.
thought that was going to be the funniest joke of your life.
Yeah, no, it didn't. I thought that was going to be a TikTok clip, and no, it wasn't. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored.
God, we're a professional podcast.
I did think they were going to throw Deadpool in here somewhere, and they didn't. And honestly, I'm proud of them.
I'm kind of glad they did. The cameos weren't my thing. That's, I didn't care about that, which is why, like, when they got spoiled for me, I was like, I don't really care. That's not the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
I had a dream the night before that it was going to be entirely about them. I had a dream that it starts with John Krasinski, Reed Richards, and he is the second main character. Him and America Chavez are like a thing, and then Doctor Strange is barely in it. I was like, oh, I woke up and I was like, that's a fucking nightmare.
Well,
but that might be the multiverse.
That's the multiverse now. That exists in the multiverse.
I honestly,
that's the movie that exists in the Utopia. You know, in the Utopia.
You mean the city
that they go to?
Socialism?
Yeah,
that's what that is.
Yeah,
free for oh hell yeah. I really like. We'll get to that, but I really like that. I like that it could, like, that's a really fun idea about the multiverse that most things don't bring up. Because like dreams are peering into the other universes. That's really cool.
The whole
and, like,
concept
that's fresh,
of the
like Everything
multiverse,
Everywhere doesn't do that.
The whole concept of the multiverse, to me, at least in most media, is just that okay, whatever the fuck you want exists somewhere, right? So of course, like if you have a dream about something, it probably exists because the multiverse is fucking infinite. There's going to be a bunch of shit, you know?
Yeah, Everything Everywhere leaned really hard into the idea of like choices lead to multiple universes and stuff. And like at its core, that is kind of the same thing with this multiverse. That's kind of what Loki was all about.
Yeah.
But like Everything Everywhere leaned in like a very personal direction. But this was a more kind of fantastical thing that I was cool with. I just felt like we were only in 3 universes. You know?
No,
it wasn't. Barely did anything.
It wasn't a multiverse of madness as opposed to a 3 worlds of kind of fucked up shit.
Crankiness. Multiverse of Crankiness. That's what I'm calling it.
It wasn't how many? I mean, there was the thing where they flipped through it, but other than that, it was just.
But even then, like that didn't really feel in depth. But it's like we got like 616, 838, which was the one we were on the most.
The Illuminati.
The one with the one
Sinister
with evil
guy.
Doctor Strange. So 3.
That's it, right?
And then the one with because that was also 838. Yeah, so like 3 or maybe 4.
No, that was an 838. Yeah.
The one with Wanda's kids was 838 still.
Yeah, 838 was that with the Illuminati. Oh, I guess Defender Strange, but we don't get to see his actual world.
Yeah, we don't actually go to that world, but yeah, I mean we can count that. So 4, and then maybe 5 just for peeps,
shits
for
giggles.
Whatever. Yeah,
that we missed.
Yeah. What'd you think of that big old opening?
Yeah, good opening. It really jumps you into the action at the beginning. I was like, oh, fuck, okay. The movie started.
I'm a big fan of starting on media res. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. America Chavez was great in this movie.
Yeah. She was actually...
I loved her.
Yeah.
She was way better than I was... Like, the actress is like 15, right?
She's young. Yeah, she's like a teenager.
Yeah, I remember somebody saying she's
like
15. She's fucking fantastic. She did a really good job. Yeah. Like, good for her. Hell yeah. Rocket
and
girl.
she did a really good job because like she's going up against Elizabeth Olsen and Benedict Cumberbatch and like Benedict Cumberbatch's accent too, which that's a whole other actor that's in this movie.
You mean Dr. House?
Yeah. Crap. Illuminati?
Crap.
What's up with the Illuminati?
The Fantastic Four.
Illuminati?
Did you guys chart in the 60s?
Is that what he says? Chart in the 60s?
I think he says, he says chart.
For a second, I was like, did he say chart in the 60s? They should have
chart. Oh, fuck. That would be a burn.
I mean, knowing it is Jim Halpert, maybe he did.
But no, that opening was fun. Very, like it's cool. I we'll get to this, but like I feel like the villain shit is like weird. The way they handled that stuff, like there's just this big demon, and we don't. I guess like we don't know. We assume that it's just a demon.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like we'll get to that, but like cool scene. I really like what they do with Strange in this movie, and I think Cole asked this Critical Rants on YouTube, so everybody go subscribe because this is on the main channel.
Yeah, and he has a new video. Check it out.
He has a new video. Yeah, it's really good. He asked like how we felt about the arc and stuff. I really liked this whole arc with Strange.
Yeah. It wasn't like heavy, it was like Parts of it were heavy, but it wasn't that what.
No, sorry, I was breathing.
Oh, okay. Like it wasn't
Sorry for
like
breathing.
so, yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah,
I know someone was making a comparison to like Spider-Man because they're both multiverse movies and saying that the Spider-Man arc is stronger than the Doctor Strange arc of this movie, and I guess it is,
I
but
don't
like
agree because I don't remember the Spider-Man arc. I don't remember like what the main
there's a
lesson
lot of
was.
there's a lot of
Unfortunately,
shit that happens in that movie too.
yeah.
But like I feel like
I
this.
really loved. I just fucking adore. I like the idea because for this whole time we met him, Strange has very much been like a Spock in terms of how to handle like the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. You know, that was the whole thing in Infinity War. Like the only
He
way to
utters that
win is
same
to
line.
kill
Defender
half of
Strange
the
uttered that
universe and then bring it
same line,
back.
right? He says like something like, "In the grand scheme of the cosmos, your sacrifice."
And I'm like,
which is his No Way
oh
Home
shit,
line.
they present that as a character flaw. That's
Yeah.
rad. That's sick. You know, it's Strange realizing like the only way may not be the only way. You know, kindness and understanding of another person is more important than like murdering a person to save millions. You know,
Yeah.
and I really like that kind. I don't know what you call that. It's not objectivism, but it's something along those lines, like the
Utilitarianism.
practical
It's
utilitarianism.
yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, the like the obsession with practicality and like you know that stuff. I like presenting that as a flaw. I thought that was
Yeah.
really neat and really interesting. At the
Yeah.
very least, like I like that's a clear message to me, and
Yeah.
I thought fuck yeah, the movie had
It's the only reason
a clear
why.
theme that it built upon, and
Yeah.
everything involving the character more or less was intentional. That's
Yeah,
neat.
it's the only reason
That's
why that's
sick.
everyone's favorite episode of What If, which sorry to remind everyone of What If, but that is the only
Oh
good
yeah,
episode of What If. It's because
yeah,
it does that shit with Doctor Strange.
yeah.
Because he's a character that I feel like with all the other characters that Marvel has been doing, he's the only one where it's like you can kind of see that he has something to him, and like that's his
I think what it
defining little
is.
character trait.
I think what it is that like a lot of other MCU characters we're still kind of building to them being like their comic counterpart, right?
Yeah.
We just kind of got Peter to be like he is in the comics. We're
Yeah.
Tony kind of was, Captain America kind of was, you know,
But they're also
but like a
dead,
lot
so
of
it
other
doesn't.
characters were like
Yeah.
we're still kind of on the arc to become straight up comic accurate.
Yeah.
And Thor is also a character that they did pretty well with that. But like
Yeah.
but with Doctor Strange, after the first movie, that is Doctor Strange. He went through his origin and he is straight up Doctor Strange from the
And
comics.
Infinity
You know?
War and Endgame helped that. Yeah. They
Yeah, and
enhanced
it's
that
like,
for
oh
you.
shit, this is how the characters, and it's like definitive, and like the traits are there, and it's really strong, and so then they build upon those traits and those flaws in a really interesting way here that I really liked. I liked how they emphasized that with in the wedding scene with the guy from the first movie, the other doctor,
Yeah.
and him being like,
I didn't know
did you
who that was
have to
for a
do this?
second. He kind of looked
You
like
didn't
Walking
rewatch the first
Phoenix,
movie,
and I
such
was
an L.
like,
What an L.
he's an actor in something else, right? I
I don't know.
recognize his face.
Most actors are in other things, so
This is
possibly.
very true because actors aren't just the characters
Actors
that
are
happen.
only in the MCU.
I saw a
Actors
comment
only
that's like
matter if they're part
Tom
of
Hiddleston is
Marvel.
in some medieval show, and like all the comments were like, "Oh my god, it's like he's Loki but in the multiverse," and I'm like, "Shut the fuck up,
I
please."
love that. Gotta love that. Gotta love not separating the character from the actor.
Yep. Yeah.
But no, like I liked the thing of like, yeah, sure, what Strange did was like the right thing, but like it was fucked up. He
Yeah.
let half of the universe die essentially because that was
Yeah.
his call, and I think
And
that's
he
a cool
still
thing to have
makes
that
like
bear on his soul.
it's a kind of character transition where he does make a couple changes as the movie goes along, but he is still Doctor Strange. Like he still does some kind of fucked up shit. Like he does
But
still
he's
mess with
like
the Darkhold, but like
but he does that on himself. It's not like he sacrificed somebody else to do
yeah,
something.
yep,
He
exactly.
sacrificed himself, and I think that's the mark of like a genuine hero.
I think that's what's also going to
As
improve his character going forward in the MCU.
and in
Is
general, he was like nice in this movie. He was really like
yeah,
he's always portrayed as like this snarky little piece
because
of
he's an
shit because that is
asshole in
kind of
No
what
Way
he is.
Home.
He's an
Yeah,
asshole in everything. He's an
yeah,
asshole in Infinity War and you know and in the comics and stuff he is too. But
yeah,
it's like he was talking with America and he was just like, you didn't kill your moms. Your moms are out there somewhere. Don't feel like you killed them. And he was like, it was a very mature and like like not optimistic, but he was like nurturing in a way that was like
yeah,
really appreciated for this character
yeah.
when they could have very
But it
easily just
still
made
felt
him,
like his
you
character.
know.
It didn't feel out of pocket. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I felt like, oh fuck, he's grown. You know, and it was really cool. I really like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, for a while, I was like, and you can tell this because you watched the first movie, is Night Nurse, what the fuck, Rachel McAdams, what the fuck is her
Yeah.
name?
Christine.
Christine. I was about to say Charlize
I almost
Theron.
called
I'm
her
like,
Beatrice.
no.
I don't know where the fuck that came from.
Yeah.
No,
is
yeah,
is
Regina George.
is Christine like as big of a thing in the first movie?
Not really. She is kind of like like standard love interest in
Yeah,
an
because
action
I know they
movie.
have that moment, but then there's like the funny moment with the cape
But
right
she
after
is
that,
like
right?
important to him and stuff. And I think I mean
Yeah.
the What If episode also leaned into that too
The
of like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, it's what if she dies and then he goes she's the thing that like grounds him and stuff.
yeah,
I liked what they did with that relationship. Like sure maybe it wasn't built upon in the first movie, but the first movie was like 5 years ago.
yeah.
So it's like it's hard to do, you know, it's we've had some, and that's kind of how I feel about Mordo too, where it
Mhm.
was like first movie ends the credit scene and he
He,
Mordo's like I'm evil bad guy Sinestro, because first movie's just Green Lantern. Did you know
he,
this? First movie's just Green Lantern, same
actually,
movie,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly the
That's
same movie. It's just the finale's better in
instead of going
in
to
Doctor
space,
Strange.
they're just in a
Yeah,
house. Yeah.
yeah.
Shit. Yeah, you're
But
right.
the first movie ends credit scene, Mordo goes evil basically, and then we don't see him until
Yeah,
this, and the Doctor Strange
and
like
it's
he's
not the
dedicated his
same
life to killing me, and I'm like, where did that come from? Like
because
how did we know this?
I guess he knows because he's the sorcerer supreme, or he was the
Yeah,
sorcerer
and
supreme. But
it's kind of
still, it's
cool to
not.
imply that like they've had interactions outside of the movies. That's always my
Yeah,
thing. I hate the idea that the only things we see are in movies.
yeah.
Like so there's
He
got to
went to
be
go
some
get
stories and
coffee and
some
he ran
adventures
into him. He was
between,
like, "Fuck you," and then he like
or
walked
there's
away.
been a
Yeah.
fight or there's been an attack or something. Like there's got to be potential for some
They
in
live
between
lives that
comics or
take
something.
place over
Yeah,
normal 24-hour
exactly.
periods of time.
Which is why and this movie kind of leans into it. I genuinely dislike how the first movie took place in 2016, because
Yeah.
it's like the time difference between that and Infinity War means he'd only been Doctor Strange for like a year, versus if it
Mhm.
took place in like 2012, there would be a lot more time to like have him learn these things and have those potential stories and stuff.
Yeah.
First, and I
But this
think
is
they
kind of
just kind of
rushes
want
him
to
into it.
pretend that he's been Doctor Strange for a super long time now,
Yeah.
when in
Yeah.
reality it's only been like 3 years, which I
Maybe
think
it's longer for
that's kind
him
of
because
fun.
he's doing all the magic shit. I don't know.
Yeah, and you could argue the end game time jump allowed that, but he was snapped away, so like we
Yeah. Yeah.
don't know, you know,
Yeah.
that didn't happen.
Wong
But
should be
I
like
still, it's not a problem, but
infinitesimally
I think
better
it is
than
kind of
him.
funny that they just pretend.
Yeah. Which I guess Wong is infinitesimally better than him. Which Wong also in this
Wong,
movie.
great, love
Yeah.
Wong.
This is fucking.
I didn't get the Wong hype before, and I'm
But
like,
you
yeah, I
get it
get it
now.
now.
Yeah.
He's rad. He's sick. I love him.
There's not as much of like he's cool in Doctor Strange 1, but he doesn't get as much
Hmm.
shit to do. Here he gets
Yeah,
stuff to do. He's really like an actual
and he
character.
has my favorite line of the movie.
Which line?
Do you know which line I'm talking about? Where he's like, "Fortify your
Oh
minds."
yeah, that's
I
right.
lost my shit.
Fortify
That was
your
the funniest
minds.
thing. It was
Yeah.
so funny. Like
Yes.
I was cackling in the theater for like things that nobody else was laughing at, and then all the like Marvel jokes I was like dead silent, and then people were like
Okay.
laughing at it. I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, I wish there was more
I
shit like that,
forgot that
because
happened.
I somebody commented that on my video, just that sentence, and I
Yeah.
like started crying laughing. It's so funny. All the
Because
Sam
they're like,
Raimiisms are great in this movie.
yeah, because it's just kind of out of, it's not out of nowhere. He says that they're attacking the
It's
mind,
out of
but
nowhere. It's straight up
yeah.
out of nowhere, and I love it. It's so funny. Um,
It's like you're you're like in like a kung fu studio and you're training and they're like fortify your mind and it's like how the fuck am I supposed to do that? I'm trying
like,
to
what does
punch
that
a
mean,
wall.
dude?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so the wedding happens. We get a little talk with Christine. We bring up the emotional point of the movie and the character growth, and then a
Yep.
big eye monster shows up
Yeah.
and he gets his eye poked out.
That's
What do you think of that fight?
I thought that was it was like the Suicide Squad, but they did it in 10 minutes because he gets his eye poked out by a big
Okay,
rod and then
hang
it's
on. But they never pulled Starro's eye out, so
oh
don't
yeah,
even
that's
compare.
right. So I
We
guess this
went
movie is
inside of that
gorier.
eye.
Yeah, that's right. I
I
guess this
saw
movie is
people be like,
gorier.
"Be careful! There's so much blood and gore in this movie. It's worse
Uh,
than Evil Dead." And I'm like, "You did not watch Evil Dead, then."
it's monster
Evil
guts.
Dead, I can't. I love Evil Dead. I can't watch the first one.
Yeah.
It's impossible to
Even
watch.
even in the
It's
spaghetti sea, there's no
brutal.
blood in that. He just turns into blue and
Which
black mush.
we'll talk. What is he made of then? If he doesn't
I
bleed
think
when he
he's
gets
just
cut up, what is he made of?
I
Is he
think he's
made of
just made up
spaghetti?
of blue. I think he's made up of blue.
He's made up of Play-Doh and slime. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yep. He's made up of jello,
But
like his character in The Office. He put the stapler in the jello, right? That was just
yeah,
him. That
exactly.
was
Yeah, there
just
we
Jim
go.
Halpert.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that fight was cool though. I like it's well directed.
Yeah. Him
The
jumping
bleeding.
off the fucking balcony is the coolest shit.
That was like a Spider-Man 2 shot.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
I watched. I was like, the way the camera's tracking him in like the blur. I don't know what I can't describe it exactly, but like
when he's just
it felt
falling
like
and
a
then he's
swinging
like,
shot for some reason.
yeah, yep.
Like it was sick. Oh god, they make him cool in this, which is really nice. You know?
Yep.
They make him cool without like him doing cool things. Like, you know, I don't know how to
Do you
describe
think
it.
this movie would have benefited from, because you've been talking about it a lot, the projector ILM
Oh,
like
the
LED
stagecraft
tech?
stuff.
Yeah, do you think this movie would have benefited
There
from
were a
that?
couple scenes where I was like, oh, this is green screen, and
Yeah.
like I get why it was, but I'm like, it doesn't look as good as it would on
Yeah.
stagecraft. Maybe like a couple things where like especially like in the big like space between universes where it's like all crazy
Yeah,
lights behind them.
the purple orange space, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been nice to have. Maybe they did. It's hard. I haven't seen any set
I
photos of
don't
it.
think they did, because they
I
would
would
have
assume.
talked
I
about it a
think if
lot
they
more.
use stagecraft, they're gonna market it because stagecraft is the
Yeah.
coolest fucking thing, dude. I love stagecraft so
Yeah,
much.
exactly.
But like, yeah, there are a couple scenes where I'm like, yeah, that would have been nice, but for the most part, like the things that need to be practical are practical, which that's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yep.
That diner scene,
Like
I don't know.
suitcase guy. The
Did
diner
you have
scene
an
was
opinion?
cool.
I had
Everyone has been
I
talking about
watched
the
it, I was
diner
like, oh
scene.
hell yeah, the bare
The
minimum, they're doing it.
everyone is
It's
talking about
nice.
how the lighting is really good in the diner scene, and it
Yeah, I
is.
liked it.
That wasn't my takeaway from the movie, but yeah, it's
Interesting.
good.
I don't know.
You
I
know?
just remember being like, oh shit, this is directed. You know,
Yeah,
this is like
yeah,
not,
that's
and
right.
not that the other movies aren't, but I'm like, oh wow, they actually like.
You know what it was for
There's
me?
thought behind things. Maybe it was just my
Is
the class
this
I
is
took, but you
this
know,
is later on, but it's a shot where he drops all the water on Wanda, and it's like the tension,
mm-hmm.
and then you see the lighting on his face, and it's like
Yeah,
you could
sick.
just draw a line in between his face, and it'd be two different fucking faces because of how
Oh
they're
god,
lighting it with
it's
the
so
angles. It's
like for
cool.
all
That's
of
cool
the
shit.
script issues in this movie, just direction wise and visually,
Makes up for a
I mean,
lot of it.
after the first like 30 minutes,
Yeah.
after that first 30 minutes, it's fucking god tier. It's
Yeah.
god tier. I love it.
Yep. Do
Yeah,
you
and
like?
the diner's doing the bare minimum in a way of like that we don't see too much, and
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
nice. It's
Yeah.
refreshing.
I do.
You know,
I do like the. We'll talk about it later. I do like the callback to Defender Strange, burying him in there and then bringing him out of the grave. That's some cool
that's
shit that
so.
I
That
didn't
would
pick
be
up. I didn't pick up at all until it happened. I'm like,
I was
oh,
just like, this is a weird place to bury him. And then they
yeah,
do it. And I'm like, oh hell
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, I got so fucking excited.
yeah. Which I
Um,
guess, I mean, after this scene, do we want to talk about the red witch in the room, the
we can
fucking
talk about the red elephant in the room.
the
Okay.
red elephant in the room?
Um,
Yeah. Um,
uh,
First
actually,
off,
I
I
do.
was.
No, yeah,
Oh,
we'll talk
go.
about it. We'll talk about it.
No, go
No, we'll
ahead.
talk
Go
about
ahead.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna talk a little bit about America, but then I realized like there's not a ton to say that we haven't
Yeah.
said. Just I
She
really
has
liked
her
her.
whole scene later too.
She's cool. I wish like I mean I don't know how they would have done it, but they could have emphasized that she herself was gay. That would have been nice.
Yeah,
The pin is okay. The pin's fine, but I would have been nice to get a little
I
bit
didn't even know
more
she had a
like.
pin. I didn't notice.
Well, you don't even pay attention to the LGBTQIA plus
Sorry,
community.
I know she has two moms, and I was
Problematic
like,
Mithi, back
okay.
at it again.
I
Everybody down
didn't.
in the comments,
I
cancel Mithi.
didn't. I said
Leave
I
a comment
didn't
about
see
why
it.
Mithi's
I
problematic.
knew someone told me before that she was, and I was like, all right, cool, great. That's all I thought. Please don't cancel me. I have
Big man.
finals
No,
to do
but
this
like
week.
I like they could have done a little bit. I just think they could have. I don't know
could,
how.
yeah.
They could have done something. It's like this is the bare minimum that Disney doesn't really want to do. And
Yeah.
I wish that they
It is kind of thing where they're like,
you
I
know.
have two moms. Oh no, they're gone. Where
Oh no,
did
they're
they go?
gone.
I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
but at
all
least
right,
they
Disney.
weren't like these two women were really they practically raised me.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
they could have done. That better than some other things have done. You know?
Yeah, yep. I had a
But
date
yeah,
with a
want to talk about
guy,
Wanda?
Mr. Chris
Talk
Evans.
about
I
the
had a date with a
kids.
guy. No, yeah. But yeah, Wanda is. So first off, I feel bad. I kind of knew that reveal was going to happen in the apple orchard because
Mhm.
in the trailer he's wearing the same clothes. Like he's wearing the fucking jacket with the scarf.
See.
And I
didn't
noticed that in the
yeah.
trailer. I wish I didn't notice in the trailer because if you didn't know that, I feel like that would have been a really cool.
That was a cool reveal.
reveal.
I do feel like I mean, like I feel they didn't really properly set up Wanda as like the villain of this. And I get it's supposed to be a reveal, but I'm like, if the movie had started with something about the Darkhold first,
Yeah.
you know, just to set up somebody is behind this demon that is chasing America.
Yep.
That would at least set up, okay, somebody is a villain, right?
Yeah.
But right now it's like we just think it's a demon.
Yeah.
And now we're like Wanda, and if they'd done that or if they'd really emphasized like the I never told you her name, as opposed to like in a way it kind of felt like a quip in a way.
It was a good moment, but it was kind of too quick. Yeah.
It was one of those moments where I'm like, okay, they could have done something a little bit more extreme with the camera here or with the music to really show like he didn't tell her name.
Yeah.
because we don't know that he never told her her name.
Because the only real build up for it is the final scene of WandaVision where she's like being all creepy, you know?
Yeah,
Like
which
that's the
even then
only
I don't think that
yeah.
you
You
shouldn't
don't
have to
need to. You
watch
should.
WandaVision to
You
watch Doctor
don't.
Strange 2. I'm not a huge fan of that
Sam Raimi
mentality.
didn't do it. You know, if
It
he
was just
didn't do it,
hilarious
you
to
don't
me. I
have to
love
do
that.
it. He
Yeah.
said he's like, I only watched the key scenes, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
You
So you
know
watched
what? Good
episode
for him. What
8,
a
and that was
king.
basically it.
Yeah.
But it's really weird
So
to
the
me.
Darkhold was in WandaVision, right? Though it was
Like that was
the
what
book.
made her.
The
Oh,
Darkhold wasn't. Was it in the show? Because I can't
yeah, it
remember.
was. It's the final
Okay.
book that she's like the Darkhold, something, something, the Scarlet
Gotcha.
Witch, and then she's like
Gotcha.
browsing
Gotcha.
through it like it's a fucking
Okay.
Reddit forum at the end of episode 9.
I think if either, ironically, if they had actually done a little bit more with the multiverse in that show,
Then yeah, it
that
would
would
have.
could have
Yeah,
helped. I
but there
just
was
feel like
such a
there's a
mess.
jump of like we didn't see a key moment of her either learning about the multiverse, and
Yeah,
I love what they do though with the dream. I think
yeah,
that the idea of like your kids aren't real. How do you know they exist in the multiverse? Because I dream about them.
yeah,
That's fucking great. That's
yeah,
heartbreaking.
yeah.
You know, and it's
And
the
the
idea that
thing with
this is this. And I'm not even a Wanda stan, but this is the only universe she doesn't have kids. That's fucked up.
that's sad. Yeah, that's sad as fuck.
That's heartbreaking, and I think
Yeah,
that's a very strong motivation. But it's like we go from that to I'm gonna kill this child.
yeah.
Like, oh,
People
whoa,
have been drawing a lot of parallels between her and Doc Ock. Of like Doc Ock at
interesting.
the arms, she has a dark hold. She has lost
But the thing with
husband and
Doc
kids,
Ock
but
is that I know they say it explicitly that it's controlling him, but it's like
yeah,
the thing with Doc Ock that was interesting about him was that the arms were just telling him something, telling him to do
what to
stuff he already
do, and
wanted to
he was
do.
doing
And
it.
I
Yeah,
thought that was the thing with the Darkhold too. It was just telling
yeah.
her. I don't even think it should have been controlling her. She
I don't
said it
think
just
it.
showed her the truth, which I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Which is
Yeah.
and this is where also
It feels a little black suit in a way of like it's a way to just kind of have some people like brush off some of her
yeah.
actions in this if
Which
they
is
ever want
why.
to treat her like a hero
But
again.
this is also where I kind of see parts of the two scripts for this movie kind of having the whole stitched together.
Yeah.
I almost this is my theory, and I don't know how solid this is. I think
Hmm.
Sinister Strange, that like music fight at the end, that was supposed to be Nightmare. What when Scott Derrickson was
Interesting.
on board, I think all the shit about dreams was supposed to be Nightmare. That's
Yeah,
my
that makes
theory, and
sense.
that Nightmare was bleeding in through the multiverse and causing everyone dreams to be like certain dreams or some shit, and that's what was influencing Wanda. And so Wanda was going to start off as like this Winter Soldier character who was doing about a lot of bad shit, but it was because of Nightmare, and then that's how they ended things. But then
That
I
could be
think once
interesting.
Scott Derrickson left, and they were like, "No, we want Wanda to be the main thing," and then maybe Scott Derrickson was like, "No," or for some other reason he dropped out. And then that's when Raimi came on board. It's like, okay, no, I can do something with this. And that's
Yeah,
I
that
think a
makes
lot
sense.
of the changes that was made to Scarlet
Mhm.
Witch throughout the rest of this movie was because of Raimi. I want to give him the credit for that. But again, I don't know. In the whole movie, you can kind of tell how like segmented apart, especially in the first half or like the first 2/3. You can tell how like separate the Scarlet Witch scenes and the Doctor Strange scenes are. You know, like
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is off doing his own thing with the Illuminati sometimes, with America Chavez, and she is like chasing them, but she's also doing her own thing with her kids, and then eventually with the Illuminati. You know, so you can tell they're two very separate things, and that means probably in the script, the Scarlet Witch stuff was very different, and then in the second round when they did reshoots, they changed a lot of that shit. That's
Yeah,
my assumption.
I think the thing that like kind of sells it to me, like I don't know the deal with Nightmare. I don't know any of the behind the scenes stuff with the
Mhm.
script and stuff. Like all I know is that a director left and Sam came
Yeah,
back in.
yeah,
I know they rewrote the script and Sam might have probably was involved with that, but like it's a different situation than starting the script from scratch, you know.
yeah, yep,
And I think it doesn't surprise that wouldn't surprise me because the whole thing with like her Darkhold getting destroyed and then having to go find the temple
yeah,
feels like a protagonist plotline. That's like that's a
yeah,
MacGuffin.
yep,
That's a journey for our character to do.
yeah,
Granted, it only takes a scene, but it's like that's a scene where the tension is gone now.
yeah,
She no longer can dreamwalk, and she no longer is a threat to everybody when they're in that universe.
yeah,
It's just it's now it's like okay now we just can't she can't get that, and I know
yeah,
Wong's held hostage and stuff, but I'm like it doesn't feel as like
yeah.
tenuous, you know.
And that's where I think maybe some of those the issues people have with Wanda's movie kind of shine is because it's like she's still moving the plot like she is a protagonist. She's
Yeah.
not as much of an antagonistic force. And
Yeah.
like in something like Spider-Man 2, Ock, as much as he is kind of in the end a good guy, he is still the antagonistic driving
antagonist, yeah.
force of the film. Yeah. He is going one direction, Spider-Man's going the other direction. That's where they clash at the middle, here and there, right?
Yeah.
In this movie, it's like they're going this direction, and then the Scarlet Witch comes back to get America Chavez, and then that's when the climax happens. And when
Yeah.
this happens at the end of the movie, that's when shit gets really interesting. That's where I think the best parts of the movie are in that last third act. But
Yeah.
then the stuff in the middle, especially with the Illuminati, is where shit just gets kind of boring. You know?
Yeah,
That's
I think
my
the
view
scene
on
with
it.
at Kamar-Taj is what it's called, right? The
Kamar-Taj,
Doctor
yeah.
Strange place.
Yep.
Yeah, is rad. I
Yeah.
love that. That's
Yeah.
a fucking sick. Basically, whenever this movie is a horror movie, it's so
Yeah.
cool.
When she's
You know?
walking out of whatever that gong or whatever the fuck that is, I'm like, ooh,
She's like
hey.
all fucking like distorted, in which or
Yeah.
even just like the reflections.
See, because here's the
in, like, her
thing.
eyes.
I saw an
Mhm.
image of that scene leaked before I watched the film, and I
Mhm.
thought, oh, so that's going to be like a different Scarlet Witch, and there's going to be like multiple Scarlet Witches.
Interesting.
Nope,
Yeah.
that's the same
Nope, just
Scarlet
all her.
Witch.
Which
That's
I
all
like
her.
that. I
Yeah.
like that we've only got one villain, you know, and
Yeah.
in a multiverse thing, you'd think they could do something grander, but like it's very clear and
They
personal,
do. They
which I
decide
really
to
dig.
keep the focus on that, which is at least on that aspect of it, it's kind of nice that we're not jumping around to different Scarlet Witches. It's just her and then the mom. Yeah.
Yeah. She though.
That's why it's called
I'm
Multiverse of Madness.
I
Is because of MOM.
I do
She's a mom.
genuinely believe Everything Everywhere All at Once should have been called Multiverse of Madness for the mom acronym. That works it works
Really?
better for that movie because that
That is
movie's all
okay.
about being a mother and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, Tyler, I love you. If you're a
Yeah.
Wanda stan after this movie,
You're not
what
allowed
the
to be.
fuck?
You're not allowed to be.
What
I was
the
going to say that
fuck?
you're not
She
allowed to
is
be a Wanda
fucked
stan
up.
anymore.
She is.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill
She's
this kid.
a bitch. I'm saying it
She
right
is-
in front of you, motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
You're
We're just gonna throw that word around. Okay.
I'm saying in this
she's
movie,
like, I'm not a monster, and then kills like 100 people.
I mean, she is badass. But my goodness, no, you are a monster. You're not.
She's a great. She's a scary. She kills so many people.
When she starts killing the people in Kamar-Taj, I'm like, this is.
I was like,
she
oh
does
boy.
This? Okay.
She obliterates those people. She burned that guy alive.
Yeah.
And like left him this horrifying husk.
She brings all the guys up.
Then she has the audacity. The fucking audacity to walk up to Strange and be like, "This is your fault.
Yeah,
you
I'm
caused
mother.
all these lives.
I'm a mother.
I'm a mother.
I'm a mother. Your kids aren't real.
I love they thought they had something with the line of like when Strange is like, "You made them with magic," and she's like, "Doesn't every mother do that?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You thought you had something with that."
Yeah.
She thought she ate, and she did.
She didn't. She thought she ate those apples, but nope. They're
Nope.
still they haven't bloomed yet.
They're not apples. Wait, that was a fucking flower orchard. What are you talking about?
No, she said that was it. He said that was an apple.
They were flowers.
No, really?
I'm like 90% sure they were flowers.
I thought Doctor Strange shows up and it's like, ooh, an apple orchard, and then she's like, yeah, they're not
an
bloomed
apple
yet.
orchard. But yeah, those
no,
are
but
like
are those not apple trees?
those are like cherry blossoms. I don't know plants. I'm not a botanist.
Okay, if
They're
someone
not apple
knows,
trees,
tells
though,
me.
that's for sure.
I thought they mentioned
comment down
them
below
being
what
apples.
kind of tree that was.
Yeah, even though none of them were real, still.
Even though that was an interesting. That was.
Was
cool.
there something?
I kind of like the small thing of like her being like, yeah, they're real. I'm done with magic, and he's like, he believes that.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, they're not real. That kind of shows like how strong she is.
Still
it's pretty nifty.
Yeah. There was also the thing because I was paying attention to that scene because I saw that scene again on YouTube, and she like drops the like cutters in like a bucket, and the shot kind of stays on the bucket for a while. I don't know if there was something there.
That too.
Of their like is there like something with the bucket?
This might be a stretch. I don't know. There might be something about like cutting weeds off, like that's her thing. It breaks her heart to cut the tree, but she has to do it or something like that,
Maybe.
I don't know.
Because there was also text on the box, so I didn't know if that had something to do with something. But
yeah, that shot stayed down, so I don't think we were supposed to read it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
No, we're supposed to, because the camera keeps going in circles, right? So we're also supposed to keep going in circles.
We're supposed to turn. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, what else happens? They fucking chase him.
She gets
shit.
he gets Wanda shows up. He's all creepy, and then America blasts Strange. And
through the effect of the star shit that was cool.
I love that. I think it's so silly and it's like
Yeah.
they very easily could have made it like I don't know how you.
I thought
like,
it was gonna be
I don't know,
stupid. I straight up thought it was gonna be the stupidest shit ever, but
it could
no,
have
it
been
was
stupid,
cool.
but they made it look cool. That's really rad. That's impressive. You know?
Especially when you see the portals and the stars continue, like when she's like telling
it
her to
looks
circle
great.
through it and
It
shit.
looks really
That's
good.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And then we get to the so we go through
the
the
Utopia
multiverse.
world. The
Oh no, we go through. We get that's
yeah.
our that's our
yeah,
multiverse hopping.
That's our multiverse of madness.
It was I was not excited. I don't know. That didn't do it. It was
fine.
interesting. They're interesting ideas.
What are the? Someone said one is Spider-Man Noir. Someone said another one was maybe Raimi Spider-Man, but I don't. It doesn't. I don't know. They're worlds.
No, I don't know. Maybe we saw cars. I do think they should have brought the paint one back. The paint one should have been a thing. They put emphasis on that. They were like, you don't want to get stuck in there. They should have put Wanda in there or something. Like that would have been an interesting like callback.
Wanda's just like a splash of red paint, and she's really mad.
Yeah,
she's just
I
like
don't, maybe
really
not put her
red.
in there because that's a fucked up punishment. But it's like, there could have been something involved. Like maybe towards the end, America's like punching her through a bunch of them, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been cool, kind of cool. But she does punch. I don't know. That's a cool scene.
She punches through.
It got spoiled on this picture that got released because she's in a punching
punch?
position. That she can
wow,
punch.
What a spoiler!
SMH.
Man, I don't want to know anything about a movie ever when I go into it. I don't even want to know the title. I can't. It's just everything could be a spoiler. Doctor Strange in the movie. What the fuck? Why'd you spoil it for me?
Yeah, everything, everywhere, all at once. That's like I know everything that's going to happen now because it says everything in the title.
Everything happens in it.
Yeah,
which is why it's the best movie ever made. Yeah. But no, now we're on 838. He throws up.
Is that an actual comic world? Is that important?
Not to my knowledge, but I don't know a ton of the Marvel multiverse stuff.
Because I know a lot of the worlds that Marvel picks up are like palindromes. 616, 838. They like doing that because it's fun to say.
That's true.
I didn't know.
One thing that this is such a stupid thing.
Yeah.
The fact that they called the MCU universe 616, right?
Yeah.
Hang on. What's the actual number? So the MCU already has a universe number.
It's like 1610 or some shit, right?
It's 1999999. It's a bunch of it's a lot of nines.
I'm telling they won't let
I get that doesn't roll off the tongue as well as 616, but I think it would have been kind of fun if they were like your Earth. That's like staying consistent with that.
Yeah,
because it's like, okay, the comic Earth is still there. That would be a fun thing. But I understand for normies, or not normies, but like people that don't read the comics, 616 like being the main universe. That's the whole point. That's like a big deal. So I understand why they do it, but I'm kind of like, it would be fun to respect that a little bit.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
I don't expect them to, because I guess
Spider-Verse did the same thing, but Spider-Verse is Peter B. Parker being so far in the future, kind of allows
You're
for
okay
that.
with that. Yeah.
But maybe I'm just a hypocrite.
Was there another MCU movie where they called it 616?
Far From Home did, but he was lying.
That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. And which is funny that he was just randomly right about that.
I know. Imagine getting like how many numbers could you guess?
It's literally a one in at least 1,000 chance.
He was part of Stark Tech for a while. He probably had some,
Stark knew about the multiverse and he had like a thing.
Stark knew about everything because Stark is the greatest character to ever live.
It could be. Did Tony Stark exist on the Illuminati at one point?
That's what interests me. I kind of wish he was there for a really petty reason, which we'll get to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cause spaghetti. Yeah.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
But yeah, Earth 38, the city with socialism.
I will say red and green shit, Campbell. That's dumb. I understand the point of it, but it's fucking dumb. Green, emotionally, the color of red, it like gives you something. And so when you see a red signal, you're not meant to go. It transcends just language.
But what if these people, their brains are hardwired different, so the chroma of green implies it's a different thing.
You're right. Fuck you.
Take that, bitch. Take that, motherfucker.
God damn it. That is true.
You got. What'd she say? Forget everything you ever know.
Yeah, because you don't know anything.
Then find I want
pizza balls.
Those
look disgusting. No, those look delicious.
Disgusting. Go fuck yourself. Those look like the Calzessi of the future.
No, you know what the Calzessi of the future should look like? Pizza rolls. That's what good pizza treats look like.
Pizza rolls already exist, though.
Yeah, but it's like inverted. How do you pick it up? Like with the cheese?
With the fucking chopsticks.
That's annoying. You should. It's finger food. It's pizza. You can.
Well, maybe
It's
maybe
just,
the cheese isn't like maybe the
they
cheese
look
is
like
like
all
cooked enough.
slimy and shit. You know, it
I don't
looked
know.
like
All I know
a.
is I'm right. You're wrong.
You know those balls they
Pizza
have
balls
in
sound
like.
great. I wonder if they exist. Are pizza balls a
You
real
know, in
thing?
like
I want
elementary
one.
schools, they have like
I'm
the
gonna get
thing
pizza
that you'll
later
play
tonight.
baseball on, but it's like a whole ball. It's like a hollow ball with holes in it and shit. That's what the pizza balls look like.
The wiffle ball.
Yeah, that's what it's called. That's what they look
Interesting.
like. And I
Interesting
thought that
take
was
you got
weird.
there.
I didn't realize that was called a wiffle ball, but that brings back memories of
No,
elementary school.
pizza balls are a thing. I mean,
They
they're
are a
like
thing.
they're not like that, but like you could drip cheese over a pizza ball and put
Well,
pepperoni on it, and there you
yeah,
go.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
fuck you.
from a distance looking at it, I was like,
First you shit on the calzone, and now you shit on this. Like
I
I think you
never
just hate
shat on
Italians.
the calzone.
You hate
I
Italians.
ate
That's really
it,
all it is.
and my
Problematic
stomach hurt.
Mithi back at it again.
This is a constant defense. I like that movie more than you sometimes, occasionally. It depends
What
on the
movie?
day.
Wait, what Batman? Wait, what
No,
are you talking about?
this movie.
This movie?
Yeah, I was because
I don't know.
I was.
I'm enjoy. The more I'm talking about it, I'm starting to think that I like it more than you. But well, not a
I
competition, I
am.
guess.
This is
You're the
is
MCU
true.
show, so
I am the MCU show. I am the Wanda stan. I am a.
and I'm the MCU hater. I hate everything MCU
I
apparently.
was gonna say I stan Wanda. I'm a bad person, but that might have been too far.
Oh boy,
that's too far.
Tyler, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
Tyler, I'm not meaning any of this towards you. You are the exception. But yeah.
Bruce Campbell cameo.
Yeah,
I didn't have
that
that
was
spoiled
fun.
for me. That was great. I really enjoyed that. And then it goes into the credits, which is really fun. I had a fun time with them. Love Bruce.
Because I didn't see I had the Bruce Campbell shows up at the end spoiled for me.
Yeah,
and I looked at one of
like,
the comments and it said Ash is back or something like that. And I'm like, is that actually canonically him?
What do they call? What does he call himself? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Does he say Papa? I know he said Papa something. I don't think he said Papa Williams. I would have remembered that. And Olivia would have brought it up when we watched it the second time. I don't know. We'll see. But that was a fun cameo. I love my boy Bruce.
He's because you see the quote that he did on
you
Twitter?
Gotta pay me. Hey, you a thief? He was almost Penguin energy. It was really fun.
Yeah. I could see him playing the Penguin. Kind of.
Bruce Campbell can play every comic book character.
Yeah.
You can't change my mind.
He was probably at some point, if Sam Raimi were to direct a Doctor Strange movie like back in the day, it would have been Bruce Campbell.
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, he was probably if Sam Raimi did Spider-Man in like early 90s, Bruce absolutely would have played Peter. It would that would have been really fun. Probably not, but that could have been fun.
I could see him as like nowadays I could see him in like something like an Uncle Ben kind of role, but I mean, he can do his own. Is he in movies these days? Like I don't know what he
I mean, he was in Ash vs Evil Dead. He's in stuff. I think he's more of a TV actor now, but I mean, he's in this, so that's a movie.
I mean, did you see
Marvel
the tweet
movie. He got
that was like Sam Raimi was like, yeah, I just every time I get a movie, I call him up and I'm like, hey, baby.
I love how they lied to us. They were like, yeah, we couldn't get Bruce Campbell for this one.
No, yeah, of course they could, because it's fucking Sam.
I don't know, but I mean, maybe he couldn't because of the production schedule or something.
That is true. Pandemic. I forgot about that. What's a pandemic? But yeah, Bruce Campbell can be a fun. The little memory thing. So those memories are
Are they public? You can just see them.
Yeah, that's weird.
Wait, the passerbys on the street can see your most traumatic memory if you misstep on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Imagine you like killed a person. And then you just sit there that it just shows like this memory of you murdering someone.
Or imagine you just have a really embarrassing memory. And you just have to relive that. And then everybody else in your modern life can point and laugh at you.
Is that their actual memories? Or is that their alternate? Like, is that our Benedict Cumberbatch? Benny Cumberbatch's memories?
Well, yeah, I mean, because America only has one version of herself in the multiverse. It looks like, because it like scanned them. So it looks like it's just going into their brain and finding it.
Yeah, okay.
And then also recreating it in Unreal Engine 5, putting a new 3D camera involved so we can watch it in third person.
Yep, that's what it was. It was actually creating
Olivia and I watched 2 things in a row where memories were portrayed in third person, and it bothered her so much. And I think that's really funny.
Yeah. Watch the next thing you're going to watch is
I don't remember what the other thing was. But
I was trying to think, was it Moon Knight? But no, that doesn't.
No, it was Moon Knight, actually. Yeah, it was. It was that they were looking in
and
they were seeing
that's right. Yeah.
Marvel loves their third person memories.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is his memories. That is his memories. Yeah.
That's his Christine that gave him the watch, which that was a nice
because I was going to say because of the hair and the no mustache, I was like maybe it's not, but no, people can.
I mean, she wasn't a redhead in that, was she? She was blonde, I think, right?
She was
don't know.
like brunette-y almost.
I don't remember.
I don't.
Yeah, I pay attention.
I'm not paying attention to
women's
Rachel
personalities,
McAdams' hair.
not their appearance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
that
then
was a good
he
scene.
goes to the Doctor Strange thing. Doctor Strange is
Yeah, he
dead,
goes to
and then
Dreadlock
Mordo's
Mordo.
like grrr,
My
and
brother.
then my bro, it's like, hey buddy.
That was.
I
I
did.
did
It would
like the
have been
line
nice
of
to have
like
seen a
go
little
on.
more Mordo. It would have
I
been nice
did
to have
like the
seen
line
Mordo
"Go on
like
red." That was a
aside from
nice
this.
small line. I think
Wait,
that's
what?
one of my little favorite. When he says "Go on red," that's a nice little thing.
That's fun. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
They talk a little bit. He spikes
yeah.
the fucking the
The
double exposure thing with the dream, like when they talk about dreamwalking with
yeah,
like
and they
that
keep fading
montage.
back.
The
Yeah,
coolest thing in the
I'm gonna.
world.
We haven't talked about it yet. The
Uh-huh.
score for this fucking movie
It's
is awesome.
I have an interesting take on this. So score is like the points are where it needs to be good. It's great, but then there are a couple times where I'm like, all right, this is kind of standard Marvel, but like
I don't remember everything, but I'm only remembering like the cool, like that shit was
the
fucking
guitar.
rad.
Every time I hear a guitar, I like fucking like. Oh,
I'm not
fuck
even
yeah.
that much of like a guitar person. I'm not that big of a rock fan or anything, but that was fucking sick.
It's just so inherent. It's like so Sam.
Yeah.
You know, it's so. Oh, I fucking love it. I just, it's so nice. It's so cool. Like, and then later when they do it, it's I get like that moment, and then the fortify your minds are the two things that just stick out to me in this movie.
It's
I'm like,
a
fuck,
Sam
I love
Raimi
this
thing.
movie.
Yeah.
Even if I don't like the movie, I love this movie. Even if I don't like the script, but that montage was sick. It was great.
And I like that they have the montage, and then they have the tea, and then they go back to still the musical montage like that. It was just that was kind of cool. It like weaved it in really nicely.
The circle wipe is the funniest thing I've ever seen. That is hysterical.
Yeah,
it was absolutely it's like there were moments where like cut to black. I was like, is there gonna be a commercial break? Is there gonna be an ad for Squarespace right now? What's the deal?
This episode of Doctor Strange is brought to you.
This episode of Marvel is brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
CW, Dare to Defy. We'll be back with a commercial break.
It's the Property Brothers show up. No, that was I love that. That was somebody just honked outside. I don't know if you can hear that.
I think I kind of heard that.
The circle wipe was so fucking funny to me.
Especially
and then I watched it with
around
Olivia the second time, and she was like, "What the fuck?" And it was so good. It's so good. I love it.
Everyone loves just harsh cuts. Even me, I like harsh cuts.
But like a harsh cut. We'll have a good harsh cut.
But the fading back and forth is just really just sweet.
I'm a sucker for a whip.
It's like them, and then Wanda comes in the middle and shit. It's like that's cool. That's some cool shit.
It's so funny. It's so like.
And that's some Raimi shit too. That's something he does like so much in Spider-Man 2.
It's just like I would like just in general the style of this movie. Somebody's still honking. What the
I
heck
could
is
hear.
going
I think
on?
it's Sam Raimi. He's like,
Sam Raimi's like, stop talking about my movie.
Yep.
It's like it's just bleeding, oozing with his style. You know, like after that period, you know, like there's still like chunks where I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel Sam.
But that's where you can kind of tell that this is where they did the movie.
They let him do his thing for a lot of it. I'm like, hell yeah. Like it's not perfect, but like overall, that's like a huge win that I want to respect. You know.
Yeah, especially even shit with him and like Scarlet Witch and Wong even later where they're like going up. I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun. It's like it's not the best thing in the world, but it is kind of fun. Yeah. Do we want to talk about
like the stuff where Wanda possesses the other self is like straight up the
shot, that I forgot that that's what happens.
Evil Dead. You just watch my videos on it, so you don't even like
no. I can't tell.
But the shot of her looking at the window and then the piano and it's Scarlet Witch, that is literally right out of Evil Dead, right out of the first Evil Dead. It's fucking like I adore it. Yeah. And then like the little shit with like the peas in the fucking ocean in the teacup.
Does she also?
Why are they honking?
I didn't hear that one.
Oh, right. That's awesome. Whatever.
Do they also break the fourth wall like Jim Halpert from The Office?
When she looked at the camera, I shit myself. I like straight up almost pooped.
You didn't know that? They spoiled it.
No, I mean, I noticed when I saw it the first time. When I didn't see it. I don't watch the trailer. I like didn't really pay attention.
Smart.
That's such a fucking crazy thing because they do it twice.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I love it.
Because she just keeps looking at it for a bit. She's like...
It's disturbing. Like she
look at
me,
you. Audience, as I look at you in the camera. This is disturbing. Am I right?
I love it. Like Sam, like and like Bailey tweeted it, but like you know they didn't do the bathos thing where they make them jokey and like,
that's what that was the other Bailey
tweet
that I saw.
She's scary. Yeah, she is scary throughout, and I love that. It's great.
The fucking tunnel chase and shit. Yeah,
Tunnel chase was freaky. Yeah.
She's terrifying, limping and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah, so then the
Illuminati
Darkhold
next?
gets destroyed, and then we got that whole plot, which like is. I just feel like she could have started in that temple, and it would have been equally like as interesting, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't
That's
think
true.
we needed like the book, and then like maybe it could have been she already knew about the temple. I don't know how that could work, but
But then
like
she
they
needs a
destroy the book,
sorcerer to take her there or something like that.
something like that, or like she like they destroy the Darkhold.
It'd been fun. It would have been
the
funny if
Darkhold-
like she can't sling ring or something like that, and so she needs someone like Wong to like sling
yeah,
ring it or
like
something.
because it's like you think you have a win, and it turns out no, it's not. You know, I liked the scene of her like torturing the people to like get information and stuff, but
Yeah,
I was like, it just doesn't feel as like the tension's not here throughout.
The stuff with Wong I liked, with her and Wong that I liked, was the conversation that she has with Wong, where he's like, "Aren't you satisfied knowing that at least some version of your family lives on
great.
with the mother?" And then she's like, "No."
And I liked the kind of distorted motivation of like, well, what if they get sick? You know, I can't just go there. I need to have complete control over the multiverse to take care of my kids. It's like it's such a fucked up and like.
And she's like, "Yeah, I can defeat the shit out of everyone. I just want my kids though."
Yeah,
it's like
kids. We're talking about the kids actually.
What about the kids?
I'm sorry, the kids are not. The kids are so.
Girl, you want the ice cream.
They only want ice.
The ice cream.
I mean, relatable motivations, I guess. But like, I'm just like, okay, these kids. I was like, oh boy, these kind of.
Were they good in They were better in WandaVision, right?
They were better in WandaVision, yeah. And maybe Sam was like, hey, kids, ham it up for the camera, you know, because that could be like an intentional thing.
Because the other kid's like, we want the ice cream.
It was funny that they didn't know that, like, it was like the SNL thing where like the two singers don't know the songs that they're singing, and they like they come up with the words on the spot.
Yeah, because they're just reading it or some shit.
Yeah, but I was just like, oh wow, you're doing a lot for these kids. These guys, really?
Like,
oh, that sucks. I know there are a lot of Billy fans out there, and I feel really bad, but like, I'm sorry, I don't get it.
I think they're more comic Billy fans than they are. I haven't seen people freak out about this interpretation of them. So.
Well, because they're probably not going to do anything with them interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but then we're in the fucking Joker cage. We're in the Loki cage.
The Skyfall cage.
We're in the Skyfall cage. We're in the
Illuminati.
The
Illuminati
cage.
What are you, the Avengers?
The
Avengers? Shield? Hydra? No, the Illuminati. What, the Illuminati?
I do want to point out, I fundamentally believe that the way you best judge somebody's character is how they treat like service workers. Steven was an asshole to the scientists before he realized it was Christine. He was a piece of shit to them. He was like, hey, lab coat, I hope you know that nothing ever happens. Things always end bad for people like you. It's like, oh, wow. What an asshole.
In his defense, they did lock him up in a fucking Skyfall cage.
But like, I don't know. Maybe a please would be nice, Steven. I get that's the point. I get he's supposed, but I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Please, guys.
I wish
I don't want to see the Illuminati. Crap.
I wish in the memory where he's at the dinner with her, I wish we also got to see him be like, hey, waiter, where's my fucking meat? Where's my drink? You forgot my Diet Dr. Kelp. You don't get that reference because you don't watch SpongeBob. You never watched SpongeBob. I'm exposing you.
I watched SpongeBob.
Gotcha.
I just didn't see all of it, and I didn't grow up with it as much. There's an episode where he tries to get his driver's license, and I remember vaguely what happens.
There's an episode where that's the whole show.
I know he does that a lot too, but like I saw one where he like
guys, there's the one episode where he cooks the burgers. There's the one where he lives in the pineapple. I saw that one.
There was an episode I saw at what? God fucking damn it! This is...
Gotcha.
You did,
You're exposed.
I did. You did get me a little.
One day we'll watch the movie at least because the movie's a banger. The movie's great. But so we this Christine is there. She's a redhead.
That's a good
her
conversation.
Very red.
Yeah,
her hair is so red.
Too red. That's my argument. Everyone's hair is too red. Thing? Even fucking Lizzie Olsen's hair is a little too red sometimes. I'm like, okay, all right, I get it. You're the Scarlet.
I think you might. Okay, all right. Now we're getting onto like ginger hatred.
Not
right
like
now.
ginger. Not like ginger. No, there's one where it's just
redheads.
Straight... No, it's like really red.
Problematic Mithi. Back at it. You hear this, folks?
God, I'm not.
You hear this, folks? You hear this? on
Okay,
the main he
I'm
knows
not.
there's a potential of like
There
50,000
is
people seeing this, and
nothing
he's
wrong with
confidently
it's. I'm not saying the one where she's like ginger. That stuff is fine. There's like a God. There's. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do here. Troy puts me in these traps and then expects me to get out like I'm in fucking a
that's the
Saw
thing.
movie.
That's adulthood. You gotta get out of the
I am
traps.
constantly in a Saw movie with this podcast.
That's me. They call
say
me
the
Mr.
thing,
Jigsaw.
and I say the thing, and then I get trapped, and then I die.
You know who
and
else
then
said the thing? The Illuminati. They said the thing, and we
they
clapped. They didn't actually say like a thing, but we clapped when we saw them.
when
Everybody.
so there's 6 members, right? I didn't count. I couldn't remember.
So, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Mordo,
Is
Carter, Black
Black
Bolt,
Bolt
Strange. No, not Strange. Black Bolt,
the
Carter, Xavier, Mordo, Captain Marvel, and Reed. Yes, 6.
6? Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great little bit.
It just feels so disjointed, and like you can tell the exact same thing. Like I understand like why they exist in terms of like our Strange was an asshole and did this, and you don't want to be like that Strange.
Yeah.
But like you don't need them. They can you could straight up have Christine say that.
I kind of wish it were more Doctor Strange related characters. Like it was Wong, the Ancient One, Christine, then Mordo,
and
then
I get the appeal of the Illuminati. They are an interesting thing in the comics. They suck. They're like that's the whole thing is they're assholes, and like they're
basically they're a secret world order.
They are the utilitarian like idea. Like personified.
And I mean, this
their
movie
whole
does
thing
that.
is
they kill one of their own because it's utilitarian. So
yeah, and I think that's interesting. If they had leaned into maybe the Illuminati could have. I don't know. That's another movie. I think
of them being the bad guys.
Make the whole Illuminati a villain in Doctor Strange 3 or something.
Yeah,
because it's just like Black Bolt. Black Bolt was cool to see. I was like, I don't like the Inhumans show. I don't think anybody does, but Black Bolt was sick. I was like,
he was fun. He's like, and then I'm like, okay.
I think he's. I don't know. I just love Black Bolt. I think that might just be a thing. I love that character, and they did it.
They gave him the wings for that second. That was cool.
Yeah, the wings, and they gave him the craziest death I've ever seen.
That was probably the best death in the movie,
I think
aside from Spaghetti.
Carter's was also pretty rad.
That's right. The way that shield slams into the fucking wall,
and then just the zoom in on her face with that. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
That's so much fun. I adore. This is I don't really like the scenes that much, but I absolutely fucking adore, for very petty reasons, the idea of we're gonna market these cameos. You come to see Dr. Xavier, come to maybe see Mr. Fantastic. We don't know. Like market all these things. Like this is the big deal, the Illuminati, and then 5 minutes later, you kill them all in a brutal fashion.
They fucking died.
I totally understand people being mad, but also I'm like, that's so funny.
I will say,
it's such a big
Captain Marvel got the worst
that
death.
mentality.
Everyone else got killed unique way, and she just got crushed by rock.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I'm surprised it even killed her, because it's like you'd think Captain Marvel could handle a rock, but I mean, I don't know. It's that's the other actress. That's the girl. I don't remember their names. That's
Lashana Lynch from No Time to Die, and she is Maria Rambeau. Yeah. Monica. I don't remember which one's
Monica's her daughter.
Yeah. This Maria Rambeau.
That's an interesting. I don't know how that worked. How did that happen?
Maybe
whatever. It's just a fun little.
Because they're both pilots, right? And that's how they got their powers. She was the pilot instead. I guess.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't remember the Captain Marvel plot.
I surprisingly remember
it is weird to put Captain Marvel on the Illuminati, because like that's never been a team member to my knowledge.
Yeah, they're just trying to think of like the big pockets of the universe that they want to touch.
It's like the team is usually Doctor Strange, Charles, Cap was on it for a little bit. Black Panther was never on it. Just kidding.
I thought Black Panther was on it. No,
he was initially going to be, and then he was like, "This is fucked up. I'm not doing this."
Oh, okay, Namor.
Because Namor was on it. Namor would have been fun, actually. I won't lie.
I mean, they cast him already, right? There was some guy who turned out to maybe be an asshole. I don't know what happened, but I heard that they cast his role.
I don't know, but like, I'm surprised that they did Captain Marvel and not a version of Tony. And maybe I'm a little petty, because maybe I wanted to see Tony die a brutal death. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If they had done Tony, would it have been Tom Cruise Tony? No, like
okay, maybe that would actually. Maybe I would have wanted to see it even brutaler then, because that would be that would be a weirder take.
Guys, we gotta stop Wanda. We gotta stop her from doing this, because that's wrong. and then he dies brutally. He actually
Yeah.
falls off the
Okay,
cliff.
the monkey's paw will be it's Iron Man, but it's Rhodey, and I'd feel really bad because I love Rhodey. So never mind. Actually, I'm glad
Yeah.
Iron
Well,
Man would,
actually,
because
that's
they would have done
probably
Rhodey.
true. They would have done
That's
Rhodey
realistically what
instead.
they would have done.
Yeah. Yep.
So never mind. Glad that didn't happen because
Yeah.
I love fucking love Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So, what we want to talk about the thing?
All
Want to
right.
talk about the casting?
All right.
Actually, hang
As I
on.
look in,
Sorry, I had to pee. Yeah, you want to talk about the casting, the big news, the big
the
deal
big,
of this movie
the big
that
Jim
everybody was
Halpert
talking
moment.
about?
The big Jim Halpert moment.
Jim Halpert,
When
Jim from the Office. Yeah, so
I
Jim from
wanted
the
him to
Office,
just
John
look into the
Krasinski.
camera. Honestly, when he like
I'm
showed
sorry,
up,
yeah. I mean, he
could've
kind
just
of was
been
doing the
like,
Jim face the entire time.
It's
But
just
John
his
Krasinski
face.
is playing this multiverses version or Earth 838's version of Reed Richards of the
Now,
Fantastic Four.
let's start from why did
I
they
want to
do
start.
it?
Actually, there's one point I want to get through quickly.
Okay.
I fucking adore that Doctor Strange was like, weren't you guys a thing in the 60s? I heard that. I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sick. Because
Yeah.
now my pitch is going to age very well,
Because-
aside from maybe this specific casting.
Because
Or
it can
maybe the
just take place
specific
in the
casting will
60s.
make it age even better.
Yeah.
So who's to say?
And your pitch being that, like, as you had on your thumbnail, that all of them are John Krasinski. Right?
Everybody's John Krasinski.
Yeah.
I do think John Krasinski should play Sue Storm.
He should direct
Johnny
it too.
Thing, and direct it.
He should write it.
He should do the music.
Yeah.
Everything should be John Krasinski.
Yeah. I know that was a question we got asked on Twitter: is who should direct the next Fantastic Four? John Krasinski as himself,
as everybody.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
I've talked about this on the channel before. So like, what do you think of the casting? Like, what's like genuinely like, what's your thoughts on this?
When I first heard of it, on the basis of like, okay, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, I've seen their interview compilations together. They're cute together because they're a real couple and they got a kind of chemistry. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna sound like a basic bitch. I love The Office. I think it's a great show. Is it sometimes overrated? Sure, but it is a great show. Is that Reed Richards? I've not read a lot of Fantastic Four, but what I have read of Fantastic Four, maybe not a lot of people like. I've read a lot of Ultimate Fantastic Four, and I know that's not everyone's favorite because they do some weird shit. But the first few issues in the first like 2 volumes aren't bad, I want to say, and that's not John Krasinski. That's not the kind of person that you want for John Krasinski. I know people have been talking about like, is Reed Richards more of like a father figure, and then maybe I could kind of see it like maybe there's an angle there
stuff. Yeah,
but it's just that one edit. That one edit ruined everything for the world. And it's the one of him. I think it's a picture of him from Jack Ryan that they just added the Captain America suit on.
I think it's from Zero Dark 30. Was he in that?
It might have been from that. Yeah,
it's something. Yeah, it's one of those shows, and he's shirtless in that shot, and then people Photoshop on essentially the Captain America suit. Yeah, and it's that. Yeah, that one edit. Like it. Initially, I used to think, oh, it's an okay pick. Yeah, I was on the same page as he was. Like, yeah, that's a decent pick. Ironically, he was kind of my pick for Green Arrow for a while. Him and Emily Blunt for Green Arrow and Canary for the same reason that everybody wants him for Reed.
Yeah,
I've always felt he would fit Green Arrow a little bit better
because you're pairing him up with his wife a lot at the time too. Because Emily Blunt is a great actress.
He's a guy that can be funny, but also can take himself seriously. Like that feels a little bit. It fits Green Arrow better now, and now it doesn't really work for me. Now I thought that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Before obviously Journey was cast and everything. But like I've always felt like I've never hated the casting, but it has always felt very much like he is an MCU actor, if that makes sense. He's somebody that is like, he's a Chris Evans. He's gonna be Captain America.
He is a Chris Pratt of sorts, you know?
Yeah, in a way.
Where you get him on and he's gonna still be himself.
They hang out a lot. That's kind of what shows it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always felt it's like he is an action star. You know, he's decent at that. He's in a lot of movies that I don't really care for, but aside, he's good in Quiet Place, and he's a good director with those. Yeah. So like he's not a bad actor. He's talented.
Yeah. I
just don't know if I can see him having because I don't want Reed Richards to be an action star.
Yeah.
I want Reed Richards to be a scientist first, a researcher first, and father first.
And that's what he is in the Ultimate Comics. You can tell me if he's like this in the other comics. He's just a fucking nerd. And like he has a little swag, and like he's a quirked up white boy with a little bit of swag, you know, like a little bit.
Yeah.
But
busting
like
busting it down stretchy style.
Stretchy style. I mean, he gets Sue Storm in the second volume of the book. Like he's got some pull, but still he is the nerd. He is just the
Yeah.
nerd guy who's sitting at his computer and obsessing over like these grand. He is very utilitarian. You know,
he's not Tony Stark. That's kind of like what I see him. Like Tony Stark is like the cool nerd in that way of like, oh, Tony Stark is everything that Peter Parker wants to be.
Yeah.
Not to bring in Spider-Man, but like Reed Richards is kind of realistically everything Peter Parker will be.
Yeah.
You know, could ever
Which is
be.
why they pair him up with Peter.
But then on top of that, Reed's a piece of shit a lot of the time. You know, in the utilitarianism way. He is really, I like that they brought up his kids. I think that's a cool, you know, if they do that, they can just show he has kids, you know, hell yeah, that's all we need.
I'm assuming would it be Sue? I guess they didn't confirm. Would it Sue? Fuck. Would it be Emily Blunt?
Emily Blunt. If it would be weird to, that's the only reason I could possibly be interested in it. Cause I like Emily Blunt and I think she would be a good Sue.
Yeah.
And I guess they come as a package pair.
Yeah.
But like if you get him and you don't get her, I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Strange. Yeah.
And so it's just like, and this kind of proved to me he's not bad by any means in this.
But he's soulless.
But he's not, he's very soulless. He's very just kind of saying his lines for the camera and looking
The biggest
cool.
problem that we've identified is Doctor Strange.
Like I was like, this isn't Reed Richards. This is John Krasinski wearing the suit is weird. The suit is
not great. It's weird.
The suit is very MCU
black patches.
I don't
stuff.
Like the little
original
suits
it
has on the logo.
Not the original suits. The suits from the old movies, the Chris Evans movies, the Ian Griffith movies. Those suits are fucking cool. Those suits are awesome.
Great. They're perfect. And
Let's
also,
bring those
Ian
suits back.
He's that's perfect casting. It's kind of going to be hard to top that. I'm going to be real. Yeah. He's great. You know,
give him a beard. Yeah.
And it's like that. Even that version of the Reed, I was like, yeah, I could see this being Reed Richards. I feel the scientist. He's kind of like he's still a little like standard movie main.
There's a little bit more Tony Stark in him, but it's still okay.
Yeah. This really just kind of comes across, and maybe we didn't get enough time with him. It just came across as standard action hero. He didn't sell me. This was his audition for me, and he didn't sell me. You know?
Yeah.
Versus like
I think this was his audition for the rest of the fans too. Yeah.
I've been a big fan of William Jackson Harper for that casting too, and he was in. Do you watch those like Netflix like Death of the Year things every year?
No, I do not.
They're these like comedy recaps of
Death
the year.
Of 2020,
and they're kind of cringe,
Death
but they're also and they're kind of cringe, but they're kind of funny. William Jackson Harper plays a piece of shit asshole scientist in it who's like an egomaniac, and I'm like, he basically plays Elon Musk, but it's like pull it back a little bit. It's a little too much. But like I was like, oh, this is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
And he has a beard and everything. I was like, oh god, I kind of like this. So he's Harper's always been my pick for it. And like
the way that they've done the multiverse, they can still do that. I don't.
Yeah, that's the insane thing. I'm seeing everybody say they introduced Reed Richards and then killed him off. Yeah. Why would they do that?
That's not.
I do you understand? Doctor Strange is killed at the beginning of this movie. That's not Doctor Strange. That's the whole point. Yeah. That's how the multiverse works. It's like the same people commenting on my old No Way Home pitch, where I had Donald Glover as an older Miles.
He's like, actually the Prowler.
He was his uncle. It doesn't make sense. Like that's what the multiverse
the point of
is.
Why
everybody.
People have been doing it. Why the fuck did everyone want Toby to be Uncle Ben? This is why, you know.
Yeah,
is the weird shit like this that you can do.
That's the point of the multiverse, you know. Yeah. So I think it's hilarious when I see people be like, oh, so Reed Richards just dead now. What the fuck? It's like, were you not paying attention? This is clearly not our Reed Richards, because they said they charted in the they charted in the 60s.
They charted in the 60s. They shit their pants in the 60s. Yeah.
John Krasinski shit his pants in the 1960s.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's who knows now? It's probably going to get delayed without a director. But like, I am really interested in what they do. If they cast John as the main Reed, fine. I hope he does a better job than he did here. But he didn't really convince me here.
These are the possibilities. Either John Krasinski is going to star in it and Peyton Reed is going to direct it. John Krasinski is going to star and direct it. Or none of that is going to be true.
Yeah, I would rather it be none of them. But if John Krasinski's going to be in it, I'd hope he directs it too. But
I feel like he might want to. So
because it's essentially a family story. So, and he's good at that stuff.
Yeah,
but like it's not my ideal situation, you know.
No, yeah.
And the thing that I'm really kind of annoyed with this, and I said this when when this leaked that John Krasinski was going to be playing this multiversal version of him.
Yeah.
Now, realistically, if it is anybody but John Krasinski, especially if it's going to be like a person of color like William Jackson Harper, like I want, people are going to be it's going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to be like, bring back John Krasinski. He was so much better as Reed.
He was so much cooler.
He's so much.
He looked more comic accurate. That's what they're going to say. You're going to say that
he looked more. He was a white man with a beard and a blue suit. He looked more comic accurate
with gray temples.
That's all Reed Richards is. Yeah, he does have the gray. You're right. Yeah. Like I don't know. Whatever they end up doing, it's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that they put up with that nightmare to do something, interesting, as opposed to just more Marvel character shit in a textured armory looking suit looking like Captain America 2.0.
Yeah.
Because Reed's not Captain America 2.0, but I think they want John Krasinski to be that.
I mean, they wanted him to be Captain America, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
Originally. So it's like,
And ironically, he would have been better for that than Reed. I granted Chris was great. I wouldn't want anybody but Chris, but like, it just didn't
in that position. It might have worked.
Yeah,
and it's like his performance is just kind of like
he just talks. He says his lines. He does a great job. He memorizes his lines.
He was on set for like a day or two.
He stretched a little bit.
The CG was weird, right? Like every time he like stands, they made his arms and legs longer, right?
It wasn't rushed because that was leaked like a year ago.
Yeah, so but like he was, but like. They did do shit with his arms and legs, right? Like when he's just standing there.
They do the kind of comic-y thing, and like it was fine. It was a little weird CG-ish. I think
it was a weird glisteny.
Yeah, that might just be the decision with the suit and stuff.
Yep. But then he's spaghetti. Then he's spaghetti. He turned into the spaghetti. Greatest shit I've ever seen.
On top of just the whole thing with the cameos being killed instantly being really funny, it's extra funny to see all the people be really excited about this casting. With a fan cast, and then kill them off in a
wasn't Christian saying something about like Charles being like,
it's like it's just hilarious to me. It's such an asshole thing to say, but like it's funny to me to see like I don't know, because
people cheer.
I don't know. I don't really believe in like big petitions for fan casts becoming a thing. Like that's weird. We kind of only cast John Krasinski because of the way he looks. It's the same with like Charlie Hunnam
we cast him because of him and his wife. Honestly, Emily Blunt
mostly because of his wife.
Job.
Like it's not interesting to me. That's my.
Who are your Ben Grimm and Human Torch fan casts?
I don't have anybody for Johnny.
Is it Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen is a perfect casting for the thing, and nobody can convince me otherwise. He's genuinely a perfect casting.
I keep seeing the fucking Zac Efron for the Human Torch, and now he says he's interested. I don't know.
He feels a little too. I feel like he should be Tom Holland's age.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be Emily Blunt's
We've already lost out on the friendship between Peter and Daredevil. Like, I would like to at least get the relationship between Peter and Torch.
If it is Emily Blunt, though, it's supposed to be someone who's like her brother, right?
Her brother. He could be a younger brother.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He could be like,
she looks
like
young.
22 to Peter's 18 or something.
Yeah. Like an Andrew Garfield looking age. Or, Andrew Garfield's like almost 40.
Fuck it.
I forgot.
Get Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, I mean, it's a multiverse.
I'm down for it.
Yeah. Get Andrew Garfield as Reed. That'd be interesting.
Andrew Garfield is anybody. Andrew Garfield's too good for the MCU.
He's got that lanky look. Yeah. Enjoy your hiatus from acting, Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, for real. You deserve a break. I with the suit, I really didn't like the like weird little like techie texture that they put behind the floor. That was kind of strange to me.
It felt like the thing, that one picture that everyone shows around.
It felt like a thing they do on the CW. I think they've done that on the CW. I think I remember one of the Flash suits having this weird like glistening effect to it. And I was like,
it might have been the 5th season Flash suit or some shit like that.
Yeah, something like that.
You know what? Every time I look at the Force symbol like that big in the middle, You know,
Mhm.
I always think of the stupid Kevin Feige edit where they just took Kevin Feige and they put the 4 in his chest, and they always, I don't know what's so funny about it,
I don't know
but
what
they
you're
all,
talking about,
it's
but go
just
off,
it's
King.
I'll share it with you at some point. It's
Okay.
just Kevin Feige and it's in his normal fucking jacket and hat, but then they just put the 4 symbol on his chest to make him a member of the Fantastic Four. I guess I don't know. It's really fucking weird. But
That's
yeah,
pretty funny.
Spaghetti Man, good job.
Spaghetti Man, very funny. Do
Yeah.
you want to talk about Charles?
Oh
The thing
yeah,
that they
I
advertised?
we kept talking about him. We forgot about Charles.
Yeah.
Charles's death was cool. That was a cool
It
death.
was, yeah, I felt bad though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just did this need to be Patrick Stewart, you know? Could this not have been James? I'm just
Maybe
like
James
Patrick,
wouldn't have done it.
maybe, but I'm just kind of like Patrick. He had a perfect send off with Logan. He had the
Yeah,
perfect
and then
ending for
now
that
he's back
character.
with this. Yeah.
And now it's like now his actual last time playing the character
Yeah.
is a scene where he gets his fucking neck by the
By
Scarlet Witch,
Wanda,
you know, and he's
by
on the
Lizzie
Illuminati
Olsen.
where he kills his friend. I'm
Yeah.
just like, that's kind of upsetting, you know. I get it, you know, and
Yeah.
I really I okay, I did. The only thing about the cameos where I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, aside from
Mm.
Black Bolt, was the music they used when Charles
Yeah.
came out. I was like,
Is the
okay,
animated series? Yeah.
that's the animated. That's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
You know,
If they,
it's weird.
because that can mean, if they don't forget about it, if that's the theme for the MCU X-Men, I will
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
nut.
For
That's
that'll be like on
perfect.
the trailer or some shit like that.
Like,
For
no, but
sure.
if it needs, I hope it's the theme. I need
Yeah.
like a like they have, like, was it Patrick Williams has the video about the music in
I
Marvel?
think so.
Like in terms of like Marvel music, like what do we have? We have the Spider-Man theme, the new one.
Yeah.
Into MCU music, we have Spider-Man theme. It's
Yeah.
really good. The
Yeah.
Avengers theme.
Da,
Maybe
da,
some
da,
other stuff
da,
I can't
da,
think
da,
of.
da. That's,
I don't even. Yeah, there's a couple. There's like there's some, but like they've got the X-Men animated series theme.
yeah.
That song
I
to
mean, the
like a lot of
show's
people
coming back
is
for Disney
X-Men.
Plus, right? So maybe
Yeah, yeah.
we'll loop that
Maybe
in.
I think it'd be neat to use that for the movies. I don't. I mean, they probably
Yeah.
won't, but I think it'd be
Do
cool.
you like his big yellow chair?
His what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Was that was a weird one. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Charles in big chairs. It's very
It
silly to
was
me.
kind of like it was really bulky.
It looked like he looked like he was in a go-kart. I was like, that doesn't feel
Yeah,
right.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's but I mean, I guess this is not
I have a confession to make. I
yeah.
have an insane confession to make though.
Yeah.
When he was going inside of Wanda's mind, I forgot Patrick Stewart could walk. he started walking. I was like,
just
whoa! I was like,
You
this
know-
CGI. I was like, oh wait, shit.
yeah, that I can see. I mean, I guess this is the same Xavier still. Like he's still that version of Xavier still had his send
This
off,
is not
but
the
like,
main. Yeah, but it's still like the actor. You know, his
it's weird.
performance of the
That's
character.
the
It's like a little upsetting.
And here's the like just to kind of my final thought like on the Illuminati shit other than fun that they died. What's the fucking Twitter thing? I didn't see all of that, but good for you guys. Or I'm sorry it happened. That's my thoughts with the Illuminati.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, if you had told me 4 years ago, around the time maybe Infinity War was coming out or like Endgame was coming out, and told me there's gonna be this movie called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and it's gonna have fucking Charles Xavier from the original X-Men movies. It's gonna have Mr. Fantastic as fucking John
Jim
Krasinski,
from The Office.
and it's gonna have Black Bolt in it for some reason. And there's gonna be Mordo. There's gonna be Captain Marvel and all these characters, and they're all gonna be Doctor Strange. And Scarlet Witch is gonna be the bad guy who kills all of them. I would have been so fucking excited, but like now that I see it, I'm like, there's better shit in this movie.
It's a cool. I understand why they exist.
Yeah.
And I like I everybody hates that they died. I think it's great that they died.
It's good that they died. Yeah.
Yeah, but they definitely it doesn't really fit this movie.
Yeah. No.
You know, you can cut it and focus on other things, and have the same impact.
Even when it's
basically.
like he fights Mordo, and that fight was cool, the hand-to-hand combat and shit. That was kind of fun in the little thing there. Even when he leaves, he's like his last little moment in this entire film, this version of Mordo, his last moment is, "I'm beginning to see why your Mordo doesn't like you so much,"
it's
and that's it. It's
which
like,
is
what
weird,
the? Come on, man.
Because that's a Doctor Strange character. That's the villain.
That's the one, big one.
That's the one they set up in the last one.
That's his Winter Soldier. Yeah.
It would be like if we got a Green Lantern sequel, and Sinestro was in it, and was just kind of just like a little thing,
and then he like fell on a whoopee cushion.
that's Sinestro.
Yeah. What is this? The Jack
The
Black
fight was
Green
really
Lantern
cool though.
movie?
I love there's an edit that they do that Sam does. It's such a Sam thing
Yeah.
where Mordo's like swinging the sword and then we cut to Strange's reaction and then we see him move.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is when this movie is allowed to be Sam, it's fantastic. But then when it's not during like some of those Illuminati things,
Then
I'm
it's
just
only
like, oh,
Mr. Fantastic SMH.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
was
actually
good.
said
That was a good one.
SMH. Why did I say SMH?
You said
feel...
Oh, I didn't even. You could have gotten away with that. I didn't hear you.
I don't know why I said that. I regret it.
You just exposed yourself. You're like, oh, Troy puts me in all these traps. You put yourself in there, motherfucker.
Half of them are mine, yeah. But yeah, what happens after the night nurse stuff? That's cool. The Rachel McAdams coming back with shit.
So they go.
You know what I will say about the watch?
Mm-hmm.
That was from Red Notice. Red Notice.
Actually, wait, before hang up, I just realized because I'm going through the synopsis right now. The scene in her mind when Patrick when Charles
the
is killed
scene.
I am very surprised we didn't get a Magneto reference. Like, of all the cameos that would have got me hyped, him saying "I knew your dad" would have gotten me kind of excited. Just because I fucking love Magneto with a passion. And it's kind of weird to me how we haven't done anything with that. They have the rights to him.
Because
they've had the rights to the X-Men since 2017, and we've had so many stories with Wanda, and we haven't had any mention of him.
I used to think when the bomb didn't explode during her origin,
that was
I always thought that was Magneto. Like, Magneto died, but before he died, he stopped the bomb and saved his 2 kids or something like that. That's what I always thought. But like, then they showed WandaVision,
but then Agatha
and
literally
she
said,
stopped it or whatever the fuck. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. I guess that's kind of sad because I've always thought this.
I mean, that's an interesting idea. I wouldn't want Magneto dead though, because I fucking love that guy. I
that's
love that
true. Yeah,
passion.
But then but then now I guess so. Technically, she just is Scarlet Witch because she is Scarlet Witch.
That's
and
what's
Quicksilver
weird.
is Quicksilver.
Did WandaVision establish that? And I want to talk about this in my X-Men video. But like, did WandaVision establish that she has 2 separate personalities with Scarlet Witch and Wanda?
That was kind of a weird thing, but it wasn't explicit because they were just
thought it was like the Scarlet Witch is something split.
I always thought that the Scarlet Witch was her future, and they were always building up to her future as the Scarlet Witch. And then this movie happened. I'm like, oh, I guess she is the Scarlet Witch now. So that's fun.
I was just surprised when he was like, "Your other self is coming." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know she had another self." And then Strange says the same thing. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
No, but in that scene, that's not like the Wanda from that universe. That's what that is. That's what I thought that was.
Oh.
Right? That's what I thought that was.
Oh my fucking god!
Yeah, you didn't realize that?
Oh,
yeah, that's what. That's what I think
that's 838 That makes so much more sense. Okay.
Yeah. That's 838 Wanda.
Okay, I thought that they were saying that the Scarlet Witch and Wanda were was like a split.
No,
like 2 things in her head. Maybe I'm
watching
too much Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes so much more
sense.
Everything.
Not everyone has DID. Yeah.
I know. Well, hey, they didn't even mention DID in Moon Knight, so maybe he doesn't even either.
Yeah, maybe
they don't mention it by name in that show. We're not talking about the show. Never mind. We already talked about that.
We
watch the full podcast for more.
Yeah. But. Yeah, it's like
okay. That makes way more sense. That makes way more sense.
It's supposed. I think at least that's what because she's wearing the darker shirt. That's how I always distinguish it because later on she's wearing the darker shirt. I didn't catch that. No, I still think it is 838 Wanda. The shirt theory is not correct. That makes more sense. I do think it is 838
because it also makes sense why Strange would be like other Wanda if you're in there. Sorry about this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
because that's what I thought he was referring to was like the split. That makes way more sense. Thank you for clarifying that for me.
Yes, but they chase her through the tunnels and
chase her through the tunnels in a very scary scene. Probably the biggest jump scare in that movie.
That jump scare was that got me. Yeah. But then the wash thing is from you never watched Red Notice, did you?
No, that's okay. Comment down below if you watch Red Notice.
I watched it
down below,
and I thought it was a fine movie.
The 3 of you that exist in this world, let me know if you've watched Red Notice.
It's a Rock, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Gosling. Ryan Reynolds movie. It's a big movie. They just didn't. Not a lot of people watched it, but the thing with the watch.
Another person that can you name one person that we know by name who's watched
Christian
Red Notice.
watched it and
Christian
hated
doesn't
it.
count because Christian watches every movie. That doesn't count. Christian, name somebody like real who could realistically say that they watched
name
it.
a real person.
Like name a real person. Yeah, Christian's Australian. He doesn't exist.
No, I only think
Exactly.
I can only.
Christian watches
But
so many.
all
fucking
I'm
movies. I
saying
don't know
is
how
the
he
thing
does it.
about the watch fitting in a little groove and that unlocking something that is Red Notice did it first. That's all I'm gonna
You're right.
say.
They ripped
I
off
don't
Red
think that
Notice
makes
here.
either movie better or
This
worse.
movie fucking sucks. They ripped off Red Notice.
They did. I'm just saying that Red Notice did it last year.
All right. I'm surprised though. This is such a little thing.
Yeah.
When he was like, it's got to be something that like only I know, only I can unlock it. Was it not kind of weird that Christine was the one who's like, I figured it out, the watch.
It's a watch, yeah.
You think that would be him that could figure that out,
Yeah.
and he takes the watch off. I don't know. I feel like there could have been a more like serious moment of like
what was he
him
doing with
thinking
the
and
Eye of
taking the watch off.
Agamotto? Like, what
It's
is?
not the Eye of Agamotto. Well, I mean, the eye. I think the eye just kind of exists him. When he does his magic, it just opens up, but there's not the stone's not in there anymore.
But he uses it specifically for that moment. He goes like this, and then it like opens up, and then he tries to like do the lock, and then it doesn't work, so then he closes it. That's why I was like,
I think it might just be magic shit. I think it might just be silly magic shit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I like that it's on his neck now. It's like he opens it right here instead of just doing it like this.
It looks good, like character was.
Yeah, it's like a little bow tie.
Yeah, but I was just kind of like, oh, she kind of solved that herself, which is like that's supposed to be, in theory, should have been like an emotional, important scene for her. But
yeah, they didn't feel like that crazy of an emotional moment because they have later emotional moments.
You just like there was potential for it to be like what they do later with Strange of like, how do I know you're the real Strange? Of like we're talking about his sister and stuff.
I never knew. Is that the thing from the comics? Did he have a sister?
I've never heard of that, but that might it sounds like it is. Yeah. So I'm not Doctor Strange. I mostly know.
Sounded cool. I mean, not cool because it's a sad thing, but interesting.
That sounded so cool. Man, that was really, really cool.
That your sister died when you were young. No.
Yeah. Whoa.
Okay. But it gives them reason to be a doctor.
They find the book. They find their MacGuffin that we haven't mentioned.
And then it
and then nothing. Up. I kind of like that it was like, this is going to solve every problem, and then it's instantly destroyed.
But I wish they made a bigger deal about it getting destroyed, though. I wish they were like,
because it's also the only one in the multiverse.
Yeah,
it's also the only one. That's kind of strange.
Yep.
And I feel like it should have been destroyed, like, just in terms of like, okay, the big MacGuffin is destroyed. That's the thing that happens before the final act or before the final fight.
Yeah,
like that's the like the worst possible thing that can. There's a whole other extra fight that like
there's a whole extra world they go to. Yeah, which that was cool when she pulls back her hair. I was like, oh
gosh, she's scary.
Yeah, she's terrifying. I'm telling you, the color red gives scary signals, unlike it did in that world.
Your hatred of redheads. You gotta stop.
I don't. It's not.
You're on the main channel.
It's not her hair. It's her outfit.
Come on, dude.
It's her outfit.
Can you believe this?
The outfit is red. Everybody? It's her outfit. I'm talking about the color red.
I love it when the outfit is red. I love it when the outfit is red.
I do love it when the outfit's red.
But so then America, or she grabs America, blasts them to the spooky incursion, incursion world. Not really an incursion.
Then they need to go and save America. Ha ha ha. I've heard like 5 people make that joke in the past like 3 days on like all separate reviews. I was over that joke
after the character was introduced in the comics. I was like, okay, and now we're done.
yeah, that's fair.
But
is that her actual power set, by the way?
I can't remember. I read those books a long time ago. It was a run I really didn't like too.
Yeah.
So like I didn't really follow up.
You know
what
was my introduction to America Chavez, and this is sad. The one like Disney XD show where it was like Spider-Gwen
and stuff. And
Gwen. And I was and she was like just super strong, and that's all I remember. And then I didn't know what else was her powers.
I thought it was that actually, but hang on, I'm gonna actually look it up. Continue to fill the space with sound.
Yada 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 boop boop boo
right, not what I meant, but okay.
You said fill it with sound. I can say whatever I want.
I meant like this. I meant like points. We're a podcast.
Well,
we're not going to start scatting. I'll get to that apparently.
I can talk about Fortnite.
Power, superhuman speed, superhuman strength, superhuman durability, interdimensional travel, flight, bioluminescence, bulletproof skin, teleportation. Okay, so yeah, interdimensional travel. That's like her thing.
You read that out, and all I could think of was like a DC supervillains layout. Like that's how you build a power set.
Yeah.
Like
America Chavez is my custom character in DC supervillains.
Yeah, basically. That's a lot of powers. But
so
now she's just like magic interdimensional traveler, which is kind of fun.
I mean, I'm
That's
assuming.
cool.
I mean, she clearly was strong, so like they'll probably. I liked how when she way earlier when she stomped the thing came out as a star as a whole. That
Oh
was really
yeah,
cool.
yeah, that was
I know
cool.
that's like the thing, but it looked nice. I like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like breaking. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get to Spooky Strange.
Spooky, scary, strange.
Spooky Strange, and then they fight with music.
Yeah.
They fight with music.
Yep.
I saw people
That's
saying
cool.
that was too goofy for them. That was the best.
That was cool.
I
That
loved
was
it.
cool as shit.
I adored it. That was some fucking Scott Pilgrim shit. There's literally a scene in that's literally a fight at Scott Pilgrim actually.
Yeah.
Like I loved it. And the music being like art, like 616 Strange being like triumphant heroic music, and then the Evil Strange being like da 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 was so stupid.
What?
And like when he grabbed the piano and he hit the piano, I love so funny. I don't know.
I don't know what it is. Or Beethoven.
I don't know comic books. I don't know anything about history.
I had to study some of this shit once in high school.
What do you think I am? But I, like when he smacks into the piano, Siri, get out of here.
And then he's like, "Wait a second, music."
No, just when he smacks into the piano, when it makes the tone. I'm like, oh fuck, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's really funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that fight. I thought
that was really nice. Like when the note hits him,
has
and
no
then
reason to exist. It basically has no reason to exist. But
I did like the small little touch of like the cape isn't with him anymore. That's kind of nice because it's like he's gone so far down that he's like that, which is kind of fun. Does it also mean his sister dies in every universe? That's kind of fucking sad.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, that's upsetting. That sucks.
But at least they only went to like 72.
Not upsetting. So. That was not the term, not the phrase. But yeah, that's sad.
Sorrowful. Yes. But then he dies, but then he still opens his third eye at the end, and then we never.
I think that's just to be Sam Raimi spooky.
That's okay.
Because also if Christine is like, all right, hey, go talk to Mr. Doctor Strange, go up to other Mr. Doctor Strange, and then one of the Mr. Doctor Stranges comes in and fucking impales himself, and you're not sure which one it is.
Yeah.
So it's like I guess it was to kind of prove like, hey, don't help him.
Yeah.
Let him die.
Yeah.
It was spooky and silly. I liked it.
Yeah. And then they go up, and then they decided to do the cool shit. The moment he's like, "Who said they need to be alive?"
I fucking that's the makeup on that is straight up Evil Dead 2. Yeah. It's the oh my god, my fucking like it's if I could just rewatch this scene.
It would just be that. Yeah.
I would be
It's
satisfied.
The way it fades out and then it fades into him walking the mountain.
Yeah, and the close up on the zombie's eyes when he opens. Oh my god, it's so good. And the music with it and the guitar, it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so it's so sick. And then when you've got the spirits coming after him and stuff, Olivia was pointed like the chaos of Christine trying to fight the spirits. Yeah. It's literally
the little spirits' voices. Stephen Strange. That's such a bad bitch.
They're literally the Deadites. They're literally Deadites. Yeah. Like because the Deadites are like kind of like fuck you, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like they're not like they're like gross, scary, but also kind of funny. And that's literally how these were. Yeah. And then she's like, "Go to hell, bitch!" It is like, I love it. Yeah. I fucking adored that scene, and it's so good. It's so
they went
it's so
with the
fun.
Demonic shit. They went all the way, which is kind of
they
fun,
weren't afraid. Yeah, he's a scary looking zombie.
Yeah,
he's a gross looking.
The way
dude.
his arms are like doing the weird shit.
He's freaky.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. There's a shot.
Did you like the cape? Did you think the cape was a little too much sometimes? I thought it was a little weird sometimes.
The like shadow cape.
Yeah, the cape being with spirits.
I thought it was cool. I was cool with it.
It was cool most of the time. There was one moment where I'm like, okay, I get it. It's big and wide, and we can get back to the fighting. But I
don't know. I'm really into the like let your hero have fucking everything they want. You know, it was almost like some like oh god, I loved it. It was like some anime shit in a way of like It was I loved it.
Yep.
It was just it's such a Sam looking thing. The makeup on him was so good, and like I'm just so glad that they let him make that and they let him do that.
Yeah,
and like just the guitar strings, the when they do it, it's so good. It's so sick. It's so like oh fuck yeah.
Yeah,
you know, and like
because this movie that was so much more focused on the mess of the
script aside, it's the shit like that where I'm like, oh fuck, this is great.
Yeah,
you know.
Where it's like that's probably wasn't something that was as heavy in the script, but because you got Raimi on board to
Yeah.
direct the shit out of that, he's like, no, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to spend like a
Yeah,
month trying to
exactly.
nail
And
this.
it's like any other director probably wouldn't do that, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the importance of director vision, because it's like they let these moments, these cool hype moments, regardless of like script messiness and structure and stuff
Yeah.
like that, the moments themselves are fucking metal. They're
Yeah.
radical. This is like
Yeah.
the most metal movie I've seen since Ghost Rider. You
Yeah.
know, Sam Raimi should do a Ghost Rider movie.
That would be kind of
Oh,
sick.
he should do
I saw
Ghost Rider. That'd
something
be
saying
perfect.
that like the Ghost Rider is like if they do Ghost Rider in the MCU, he would go after Doctor Strange now because he used a Darkhold.
Holy
I was like,
fuck! Wait, that'd be perfect.
that would
Oh
be
hell
kind of
yeah!
like a Ghost Rider versus Doctor Strange thing.
Yeah,
That'd be
I'd be
kind of
down with
fun.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But bring back Nick Cage for it though.
Bring back Nick
Let it be
Cage.
Nick Cage. It's like, Doctor Strange. Yeah, the Illuminati comes to butt you in the ass. The Illuminati? Yeah. The Illuminati? What happened to the Illuminati? I can't get over the way he says Illuminati.
We've
sorry.
really got a whole scene going here. I'm just letting you go. Do your story.
Yeah, Fanboy pre-writes Doctor Strange.
Fanboy pre-write. That would actually be really fun. That's a good. I like that. I like that idea.
Something with Ghost Rider. Yeah. But yeah, that was a cool fight. I'm trying to. Did they fought like a little, but then it just went down to America Chavez, and like
which I was cool with, you know, because they've already fought. We already had their confrontation.
Yeah, they had a nice
and Wanda, you know,
moment,
like quite a bit of times actually.
The moment where she's like, no, what does she say? If she does the little like, oh, and then she says no. I don't know what the fuck she.
What the fuck?
She punches her in the face, and then I forgot. America says something, and then Scarlet Witch looks at her, and she's like, "No, I don't remember what the fuck happened there, but something happened, and it was kind of funny. I just remember it was kind of funny. Like not, I don't know if it was intentionally funny, but I just thought it was kind of funny. I don't remember what she says.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought she said something like, "No, you didn't," or something like that. Okay. I don't remember.
Wong was straight up like, "Yeah, kill America Chavez." I was like, "That
was weird,
wow,
right?
Wong.
That was a little weird."
I'm not a huge fan of Wong doing that. I thought the whole point was that we like Wong and he's a cool dude.
I also was like, why do they need to kill her? Just to take her powers?
It's like taking her powers would kill her. That's basically.
Yeah, but then how would that help them fight Wanda?
That's because now if they have her power, they could like banish her or some shit.
Okay, because they have better control over it. I
guess so. Yeah, they could control it, or
I guess that kind of
just keep it out of Wanda's hands,
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Because like Wanda can very easily control it with America by like mind controlling her and stuff.
Yeah.
And like that's much more like dangerous than
they're
just,
sorcerers.
Like,
they're doing quick math in their heads. Yeah, they know.
Yeah, because he fortified his mind.
Fortify your minds. He says it so loud too.
He says it so. Oh, I love it. It's so.
He says it with his whole chest. He put his whole chest into it. But yeah,
I love Zombie Strange's wink at the camera. It's so funny.
When does he wink
so
at the
good.
Camera?
He's talking to America and he's like, "You got this, girl." Ding. It's so fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
It's I adored it.
Yeah.
I like how they stuck with ugly, scary Zombie Strange this
like
entire third act.
Yeah,
good for them.
That's him in there's CG work there, but that's prosthetic.
No, I don't think there's much CG. If anything,
but there's like a gap in his face. That's why I'm like, there's got to be some CG there. But
that's right. I forgot that was something.
For the most part,
it might. They're probably doing a little bit of Two-Face thing.
But like, his eye does kind of look like his eye though. Like this side of his face
I really think everything except for that hole in his mouth is
practical. Yeah. Okay, you're probably right. Yeah.
Just because like I might, if it's CG, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
We've seen Marvel CG. It's not usually that good.
It's like
I think
it's like that one scene in Moon Knight episode 6. But yeah, where he suits up and he gets all and then he goes like this, and it looks really bad. You remember that?
Sure. Oh, I guess.
When he like comes back to life and then he gets the suit. It just looks bad.
We're not talking about Moon Knight though.
We're not. No. But then then the Wanda gets to see her kids.
I like the message being like, America, you have done everything right. All the things you think are mistakes are like things that you've been trying to do. Or like they've been unintentionally the perfect thing we need. And like I love that. I think that's like a very it's just this very like kind-hearted message that and like it's such the antithesis of the utilitarianism thing.
Yeah. Yep.
That is just I love that. I think that's such like regardless of like my issues with the script as a whole, the fact that they got that down pretty well, I'm like, hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
This is a nice like this is a nice growth. This is a nice arc and nice change and stuff. And like I don't really
Yeah.
give a shit about the rest of the plot because of that now.
Yeah.
We
Because
had a
it's a
good character
good,
arc.
like, small, empowering moment for her to kind of just be like, okay,
But
because
just in general, like it's an empowering moment for her, but it's also like that's his arc. That's the Doctor Strange arc. And it's great.
yeah,
I
yeah,
really like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like I would rather have great direction and a great character arc and then maybe a little bit of a weaker plot than a quote unquote
perfect
flawless
story
plot
with it. Yeah.
and then lacking in the
Yeah, because
development
what
of
makes
everything
a
else.
flawless plot if the direction is going to be bad? You know, you won't. It
Exactly.
won't
Yeah.
be even good to observe that. So.
Yeah. But then America just embarrasses the fuck out of
Yep.
out of
Yeah.
Wanda.
She set him up. Set him up.
She set her up.
Yep.
I like that. I like that she was scaring the
That's
kids
one moment where the
unintentionally.
kids were acting still kind of.
They were pretty
okay.
good. They were pretty
Yeah.
good in there. Yeah. I think that's a really nice thing. And I didn't know what the fuck Wanda said to the other Wanda.
She said they will be safe or something. They're like they're
it took me. I had to look up some stuff.
It was
And
something
I was like,
similar to
I
what
could not hear it.
It's something similar to what Wong said.
It was like no, they'll be loved. I think, or something. Which
Yeah,
that's a
something
nice
like,
moment. That's like
yeah.
that's like I do kind of I kind of appreciate that Wanda had an almost protagonist level of like story with her too.
Yeah.
With like her own growth, you know.
Yeah.
But it just it made the movie a little bit messier.
Yeah.
But I do like that moment in tandem with the Wong thing.
Because she breaks down the entire thing. Did she commit Sudoku in a video game?
I don't think so. I don't think she's dead. I like
okay.
This movie. This is the thing. We know when people die.
Yeah, because they died. Yeah,
we said when Wong falls off the mountain and then disappears, and we're supposed to think he's dead, and he comes back later.
Yeah,
that motherfucker wasn't dead.
Yeah.
We didn't see him die.
I want to know how he survived, but yeah,
he hung up the thing. You know, I don't know.
No, but his rope fell. Like they were, and it stuck, and so.
Oh, I don't know, magic. He's magic.
That's right. I forgot that this is a movie about magic. Yeah. This magic in this movie? I thought it was really grounded, like The Dark Knight.
That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
This is the multiverse of madness?
The multiverse? What is the multiverse? That
multiverse Donald Glover can't be.
My dreams are not real. My dreams are dreams. They're fiction.
Yeah. I think about every single one of her dreams, and that's real somewhere, you know? That's fine.
But no, I don't think she's dead. I think like if anything, she's just kind of she's gonna be like fake dead for a while. And then they'll bring her back when they want to bring her as another Avenger again, you know?
Yeah. They have a whole multiverse of Wandas to pull from now, too. If they pull...
That's true, I guess. I would hope... I hate that. I hate the idea of like, okay, well, our character is already... you would just lose all development with that, you know?
But they're gonna do that to Iron Man eventually, you know that.
I swear to God.
They will.
I swear to God. My life has been great having an MCU... having Marvel movies without that fucker.
Yeah.
They better not. They better not. I swear.
But they might.
Sorry, Doug. I know you're an Iron Man fan. I don't hate Iron Man.
I don't think he's an Iron Man fan in the same way that other Iron Man fans are Iron Man fans. Exactly. I give Doug more credit. But I mean, there's the whole thing about incursions and shit that they're gonna. We'll talk about that later. But
incursions is Secret Wars, I think.
Which is
new Secret Wars. Adult.
Yeah, which is where it's like that's probably where they're gonna do their big cameos and like big. Pay this guy $2 million to show up for like 2 seconds.
Well, I don't know if they would do Secret. I would like if they do Secret Wars. I would hope it's the original. Secret Wars is a great idea.
Yeah,
Battleworld and stuff.
Yeah, so maybe I'm
not a huge fan of the new one. Is it Secret Wars? Is it? Yeah.
The new one is Battleworld, right? No.
Sorry, I call it Battleworld in the old one. Because it's the world where they go to do battle.
But it's okay, yeah.
I'm talking it's like
Doom World. It's like it's like Doom World in the new one. I forgot.
I can't remember what it's called.
But when people say Secret Wars, do they talk about the old one or the new one? Because they always show posters of the new one.
I think the old one is Secret War and the new one Secret Wars.
Yeah, but then like whenever I see people say Russos are going to do Secret Wars, they always show the new one with like Superior Iron Man and Miles and like.
I think you know what I think that means. I think they just Googled it. I think that's a lot of
I'm
times
sure.
that's what it means. I think they didn't read the thing
That's
because I know
probably
because
true.
I didn't really read too much of the new one. I just read the main event.
I
I didn't read the
read the
tie-ins and
new
stuff.
one. I never read the old one. I should read the old one.
Old one's pretty cool. Old one's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then they saved Wanda's the bully dead. Fixed the watch.
Yeah. That's a nice scene.
America's a wizard now. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's fun.
She's not normally.
She can pop up in other shit.
Yeah.
She can pop up in like Shang-Chi, or something like
That'd be
that.
fun. That'd
Yeah.
be cool. I'd like to see them together. The people in the fight with Kamar-Taj, were they from Shang-Chi? I feel like they were.
When were they? When were magicians?
The people with like the people that not the people who had the bows, but remember when like those other people showed up and they had like spears and like bows and shit like that? They weren't magic.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
No, but that was like dragon
there were
that
people,
wasn't magic.
There were people wearing red, and I was like, these look like
no, but there were people with like the glowing red shit, but that wasn't magic. That was the dragon skin or whatever. That wasn't like magic stuff.
Yeah. I'm saying in the new in this, I think
in this.
I don't know.
Oh, they were wearing that. Oh, I didn't notice that. So maybe
I think that was if not, I was like, I don't know. It could have been. That could have been fun.
Maybe. I don't know. I will say one random thing. Wong's haircut is very inconsistent during the entire movie. I just noticed that when I was thinking about it. There are shots where it's him with shorter hair, and then it cuts back and he has full long hair, and then it cuts back and he has full short hair and full long hair. I noticed that. It's not a bad thing. I thought it was kind of funny. He's fallen off the cliff, and in the meantime, he's also growing a bunch of hair.
Well, yeah. When you fall off a cliff, you grow hair.
They're sorcerers. They can do. Yeah, no.
Yeah, he decided to do the spell to give himself a haircut midway through the movie.
Yeah, I like the cloak, the cloak being repaired with the other cloak to have a little blue patch. Fun. That's nice. I like that.
I don't know. I just feel like I like this turned me kind of into a Doctor Strange fan. I'm like I like this growth. For the first time I'm like, I actually like really dig where they're going with a character in one of these movies. In a way that's like I'm excited for the third one in a way of like I just want to see this dude more. I like him. Yeah. In a way that like I didn't after the first one.
And it's like there are bigger Doctor Strange fans, and I don't even think you're that big of a Doctor Strange fan.
No.
So the post-credit scene happened, like the mid post-credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's Charlize Theron. Yeah, and she's his future wife.
Oh, I don't know that.
Something like that.
Shit, I closed out of it to do Wordle. But I think her name's like Sarah or Lara or
Clea.
Like
Clea. It's Clea.
Thank you.
And she is Doctor Strange's future wife, and I think Doctor Strange is currently dead in the comics, and she is the Sorcerer Supreme. I heard that somewhere. Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
I'm far behind on a lot of Marvel stuff, so I don't know about that, but like. Yeah, that's cool.
She's also either Dormammu's daughter or Dormammu's niece. I don't know which one. It's one or the other.
That's interesting because they were open. That the portal they opened up in that credit scene looked like
Dormammu
the Dork Dimension.
The
Dork Dimension.
The Dork Dimension. Yeah.
It's Doctor Strange, but it's evil Doctor Strange.
The Dork Strange.
And he wants to open the Dark Dimension.
That's probably what's going to be the third movie is going to be called like Doctor Strange into the Dark Dimension or something like that. I don't know.
But we were already in there. I don't know. If they, I just hope that. I really hope that they short the titles a little bit because boy, that was a hard
YouTube titles.
It took up half of my title.
The title should be, the title for your video should be Doctor Strange in Your Mom. That's what it should be.
Yep, there we go. Happy Mother's Day, everybody! Did you guys get everybody get your mother a gift?
It's Saturday.
Say happy. Don't forget, everybody wish your mother happy Mother's Day. Happy Mom. Multiverse of Madness, Mom.
Happy Multiverse of Madness,
yeah.
But
and then that credit scene like didn't like hugely excite me, but like cool. I'm interested in
what's going on with the third eye. I know you probably don't know exactly, but
I don't know hugely, but I do know like he. I mean, it sounds like he delved into this dark, fucked up thing, and it's impacted him in a messed up way. And I'd be interested to see how they do that. I don't know. It is very interesting. This is clearly not intentional.
Yeah.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, there's a big focus on the googly eye in the third eye area, and then this had third eye opening. That's like a kind of a bigger thing.
Yeah,
and then the multiverse. That's interesting. I'm curious, like if there's a reason for that, or if that's just a straight up coincidence.
I don't know what it originated from, but in Hinduism, one of the gods, Shiva, has a third eye, and he's like the god of death. And when he opens the third eye, that is meant to spell destruction for everyone else. So always like you see
Interesting.
him and he doesn't have the third eye open, and it's because he's always like he's kind of teasing like the Devas and the
I
Asuras and
see.
doing like, if I could open my third eye and I could fuck all of you guys up,
Yeah.
but then he doesn't, because that's supposed to be like the end of times or whatever the fuck. So I think that's
Mm.
why they use it for like dark
That could
shit,
maybe
is
be it.
because when they open the
Yeah.
third eye, they're doing a lot of dark shit. That
Yeah.
kind of
I
makes
think
sense,
also like
but
part of it
I
is
don't know.
like opening your third eye is kind of like expanding your senses in a way. And I think that's how
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
everywhere was
yeah,
was going with it.
yeah.
Um and
That's what
that
it's
it
meant to
could
be
be
in like
similar with that.
yoga, I think too. Is like
Yeah.
is something about opening your third eye has to do with your
Yeah.
chakras. That's just shit.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
interesting. I hope they get Sam back for the next one. That would
Yeah.
be fun. That'd be nice.
You think they'd get Scott Derrickson back? I don't think so. Right?
Imagine you. I don't know. Scott Derrickson's a good director and stuff, but like, fuck, I wouldn't want anybody
Yeah.
but Sam now.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless if Sam's gonna do a Ghost Rider movie, that would fucking be
Yeah. Yeah.
sick. And whatever they do with Sam in the future, because I would hope he comes back for more things, because I want him
Yeah.
to direct more stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's such a talented director, and I want him. I want to just see more of his work.
Yeah.
You know, because like there's not that much of his stuff he's made,
No, yeah,
and so it's like it.
he did Oz, and then he did a couple other things, right? And then that was it.
Yeah, but it's a pretty, he has like, and compared to a lot of other directors who've been working as long as he has, like he has a pretty limited, like it's
Yeah.
like a handful of movies.
Because he does a
Um
movie and then he like other than
they're his
Spider-Man,
yeah.
because he did Spider-Man like in a row. Other than that, he
Yeah.
does movies in
Well, with Evil
pockets.
Dead, it was like, I'm gonna make Evil Dead, and then he waited like 5 years and was like, I'm gonna make Evil Dead 2. You
Yeah.
know? Um I think if they're gonna get Sam back for something else, which I hope they do,
Mm.
if it's Spider-Man, like that'd be cool. You know, he'd be good. But like we've already seen Sam Raimi make Spider-Man. We've already seen that vision. We've already seen that voice.
Yeah.
You know, it could be interesting. It could be great. But like, I
I'll
would
say you're
want to
one of
see
the
him
only
do
people
something
to
with.
say we already seen it. We don't want it again.
It's
But
not that it's not, but it's like I would be ecstatic if he does, right? But
yeah.
I'm not like holding my breath for it,
Yeah.
because I think part of it's also he probably doesn't want to.
He
I
said
would
he
want to
would,
see him
but
do.
that might be just for
If he
interviews.
does, then that'd be sick. You know,
Yeah.
actually, it would be, especially if he did something with. I mean, he doesn't like Venom, so I wouldn't want. But I think it'd be cool to do something. Because I want him to do horror. He
Mhm.
is so at home doing shit that's scary.
Yeah.
You know, and I think this is a good balance of like scary and action. You
Could you
know,
see him
so if they
doing stuff
continue
on
that,
Disney Plus? Do you think they would let him
he's too big
move?
for Disney Plus.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
and also if they restrict him to that 6 episode shit for Disney Plus, that would be a
Yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah. That's true.
Sam is Sam. You can market that name.
Yeah.
Like Marvel doesn't have many directors that they can market by name.
Yeah.
He's absolutely one of them.
Yeah. It's
You know,
him and like James Gunn and like
him, James Gunn, and Taika, I think
Taika.
are the
Yeah.
three big ones. You know, and
Yeah.
Joss Whedon was back then.
I
But
guess
now Joss Whedon
Favreau, if he
fucking
ever comes
sucks.
back to direct something, but even still, it's like,
I guess so. Yeah, I don't think
and I
Favreau's coming
guess
back.
now the Russos, but
Favreau's gonna be like. I'm saying directors that weren't made big by the MCU.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, people who come into the
yeah.
MCU, yeah,
And I like the Russos as directors quite a bit, but yeah.
yeah. Gray Man coming soon. I'm actually kind of excited for that. You hear
Yeah.
about that? They're doing their
Nope, I
big
don't
spy movie with like Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling and one Indian dude, and it seems
That's
like
fun.
it's gonna
That's
be
cool.
fun. But
That's cool.
yeah.
I just realized
But
we
yeah.
forgot to talk about the a thing that you're into. We'll talk about that next week.
Okay.
But
Oh
yeah, overall,
something did come out. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll talk.
I
We'll talk
really,
about
I
it.
really do. I like this. Again, the script is a kind of a mess, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like it really is that first half is rushed,
Yeah.
not rushed, but it's like it's not up to par with what I would hope. But the
It's
second, ironically, the second Reed Richards dies, I'm like, oh, this is sick.
yeah. Yep.
You
Yep.
know, because it's just
But like, I wonder, like,
it's
if you hadn't done the Illuminati, what else would you have done there? Is it just like having it be from someone like Christine or like someone like another association?
like the what are you saying?
Because my idea
you
would have been, what if you did like the Time Bureau, the TVA there instead, or something like that? But the TVA is time, so that doesn't really mess
Yeah,
with
I think.
this.
I mean, well, the whole point was the TVA was to prevent the multiverse, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
You know?
that they would be there to be like,
I
you're
think.
kind of causing rifts or some shit.
Yeah, I that could work. I really do think though, like the whole point of the Illuminati is to say, hey, Doctor Strange, 838 Doctor Strange was a piece of shit. You know, he fucked this up and he killed trillions of people by accident.
Yeah.
You know, and so we ended up killing him utilitarian style
Yeah.
to save, because he was such a threat, and then we pretended to say that he was a hero still.
Yeah.
And I like what that does for Strange's character. I like this idea that like every Doctor Strange is unhappy in his relationship and is a utilitarian asshole.
Yeah.
and then it's up to this Doctor Strange to not be any of those things, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
And I really really like that. I think that's a really interesting like decision with the character.
Yeah.
But I don't think you needed like 12, you know, like 6 cameos from a bunch of different people that like we barely know, if we know
It
any of them,
distracts it almost
to
from,
distract from
yeah,
that in like a long-winded section. I think Christine could have said this Doctor Strange did this,
fucked up. Yeah.
you know, like and then maybe the back, and then maybe you get or then maybe he sacrificed, maybe he did end up dying in a video game from
Yeah.
his own intent, like to save, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. Or if
Maybe he
I think it's
committed
part of
that
the distraction with the
serious thing.
Illuminati is it's all of them. Just take like
Yeah,
one or two of them, and they're the guys that are there who are telling them some shit. You know, even if it's
honestly,
Mister
even if they,
Fantastic, just say it's Mister Fantastic in the Baxter building, and he shows up and he's like, "Oh no 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 no," and then that's it. You know, like
yeah, I don't know.
simplifying that scene
It
probably
is
would make it
it's the
better.
fact that there is a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I do understand the point of they exist to make Wanda even scarier,
Yeah,
because it's
that's true.
like Black Bolt, a guy who can kill anybody with a fucking word. She
Decimates
instant
him.
death,
Yeah.
you know, in a great death.
Yeah.
And like Reed Richards, who's one of the smartest men in the universe, she just
That being
you
said,
know,
he did do a
spaghettis
stupid
him.
thing. He was like, "Ooh, like I'm going to do something by reaching my hand
Yeah,
out." Bitch, you're going to die. Did you see what
yeah.
happened? But
Like I understand why she exists there and stuff, and like like the death scenes I enjoyed and stuff, but I do feel like as a whole, it just detracted from the whole narrative,
yeah,
and it just like the discussion's going to be all about that. When in reality, I want the discussion to be about the sick guitar riffs and like the crazy
yeah,
zombie
yep.
reveal, and
But
like all
that
these
most people are going
really
to talk
insane shit.
about. I mean, the articles are now coming out just about John Krasinski, but I think that will die over the course of the next week. I mean, it's only
Yeah,
if it's Friday or Saturday, I can't even fucking tell. But it will
it's
that
Friday.
discourse might die a little bit, but we'll see what happens. I think
Yeah, I think
the movie can still
I
stand on its own. At least the like
yeah.
because of the directorial style, this movie does stand on its own. Apart from that, I think that's why I give it a 4 instead of like a 3 or a 2, is because I enjoy it for that, not the other shit. I think you
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
strongly the same way. So
Yeah, I think like in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks to, you know, in years from now,
mm,
I'm gonna look back at this movie and I'm gonna be like, Sam killed it. Sam
yeah,
did a great job with this, you know.
mm,
And I'm gonna forget about John Krasinski. I'm gonna forget about the Illuminati shit. I'm
yeah,
gonna forget about the cameos. I'm just gonna be thinking about, God, he made a zombie Doctor Strange and it was so cool.
yeah,
You know, I'm gonna think about like, oh, America Chavez was a great character. That was a great introduction to her.
yeah.
Like I'm gonna think about like those things, as opposed to like, oh, I don't like what they did with, you know, Professor
Yeah.
X or some shit, you know.
And it's nice to feel that
And
way,
that's a win
knowing
to
how
me.
we've been feeling about this movie before it came out. Of it being like,
Yeah,
are they
we were
gonna?
really
They
worried
just,
about this movie.
remember the fucking
Yeah,
posters with all the characters and shit, and we're like, okay, all
if
right,
people thought there was Deadpool in it.
Deadpool, and I
Yeah,
remember the poster with like Joker on it. Where the fuck, like people thought this was gonna be Cameo Haven, and when those first reviews came out earlier this week, where it's like, this is not Cameo Haven, I'm like, okay, we
it
might be onto
the
something.
reviews of all the like MCU heavy sites being like, this wasn't the movie we wanted, and then
Yeah,
people like Bailey being like, I loved this movie. I was like,
yeah,
oh fuck,
yeah.
this is gonna be
Okay,
great.
yeah,
This is gonna
exactly.
be sick, you know.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I think like I really do hope that Marvel will be like, okay, our script. This was a movie that we lost a director. The
Yeah.
script was not up to par with what we would like it to be, but we got Sam and we let him be Sam, and that
Yeah.
made the movie good.
And that's the thing
That's the
is,
lesson I think there needs to be.
they did this with Sam. Would they do this with someone who new who comes in? I don't
If they
know.
can do this with like, I mean, John Watts isn't doing anymore, but if they did it with John Watts, I think like all the other Spider-Man movies would have been way better.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. That's
like
my
if
fear
they
is
do
they're
it with
just
Krasinski, if he ends up doing Fantastic Four, if they do it with Taika, actually, Love and Thunder is going to be the one to decide that for me,
yeah,
because
yeah,
Taika did a good Taika Ragnarok is fine. He didn't write it, but he did a decent job directing it.
yeah,
Taika's writing this. This is literally his movie through and through.
yeah,
If
yep.
they let him be Taika, let him make his movie, then fuck yeah,
If this is a
you know.
Jojo Rabbit of superhero movies, then that's where I think you'll see Marvel start to pump the brakes on shit,
Yeah,
or pump the brakes in a good way. I
yeah.
think the reason they're doing it here is because it's Sam fucking Raimi. You know, you're not
Yeah, I
gonna.
hope it's not just big name directors. It should be every
Yeah, and
director.
that's
You
my
shouldn't have
internal
to
fear. It's
earn.
like,
Yeah, you shouldn't have to earn respect from the studio.
yeah,
You know,
exactly. If
you
it's
should
someone
just
who is
like,
up and coming,
yeah,
and who comes into the scene and just wants to make a movie because they made a big
yeah.
movie
You
who
shouldn't.
won
You
like an
should.
Oscar.
Like making art you want to make is like I feel like should be a right. You know,
Yeah,
in these
exactly.
things.
Like, who's the
that's an exaggeration. Everybody,
did
calm
Riz
down,
Ahmed direct the short film that he won the Academy
I
Award
don't
for?
know. I don't
remember. But I know people were talking about him, and it's like if someone at his level of like they did something small and it worked really, like someone like Chloe Zhao, you know, where they definitely kind of fucked with her vision when they came on board, and part of it just doesn't work because her style of storytelling doesn't mess with Marvel style, but just in general,
I think there shouldn't be a Marvel style. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and so they did it with Chloe Zhao because she was a new director. They kind of did it with Ryan Coogler in the second half of Black Panther because he was coming into this. They do it for these people, but they don't do it for Sam Raimi because he's Sam fucking Raimi. That precedent should go away.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Black Panther 2.
It also doesn't help. It actually doesn't help that all those examples, like you're right, those are both like people of color too.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
that's kind of messed up.
I didn't intend
Probably
that.
not intentional, but like
Yeah,
you know?
But like Wakanda Forever needs to be a Ryan Coogler movie on the level of something
and I
like
think
Creed 2.
Wakanda Forever's got its own behind the scenes issues, so like I don't know if that's going to be the best judge of that, but I would hope that Marvel will be like, make your movie, dude.
Yeah,
do what you can.
Yeah,
you know, because that's all.
As much as
that's all the studio. That's how Marvel is with the comics. Marvel is just like, hey, you want to write a Moon Knight book? Write a Moon Knight book.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's what it's like. Even with the TV shows, there's sometimes there's a better balance of give and take with that. Sometimes, like Rhys Thomas is the director of like a lot of SNL stuff, and he did Hawkeye, and you can kind of tell. You can kind of tell in some moments that this is like a very like comedy heavy thing that's like oriented around the comedy, but then there's a lot of serious moments, or shit like WandaVision, where it's like when you hear Elizabeth Olsen talk about it, she's like, yeah, no, there was a Matt Shakman came in and he was our director and he really brought together the set, and that's what really made this experience feel comforting, like it was at home. And it's like those are the kind of conversations I want to be hearing from actors and people behind the scenes, is that when they were working on this project, they felt like the director was in charge. And that's how they talked about Sam Raimi. You hear Benedict Cumberbatch talk behind the scenes on this film, and he's like, yeah, no, Sam came in and he did this and this and this, and he talked like this, and he had a vision for this shit. That should be a norm for more directors. And if it's, I hope this movie will help do that. I don't know, but I hope. So,
yeah. I completely agree 100%. You said it better than I ever could. Long story short, directors should direct.
Yep.
You know, that's it. That's all that matters. And this, I genuinely, I hope that that's the takeaway of this. Like the script, I hope that the takeaway with like the discourse is not, oh, this script is bad and that's it. You know, I hope it's the script isn't great, but the direction is so good. Imagine someone having that freedom with a better script.
Yeah. Exactly.
Imagine if Edgar Wright made Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It just comes back to that for you, doesn't it?
I am still mad. I am still mad about that to this day. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you liked this video, be sure to the like button and subscribe. Special thanks to Alta the Sting, Cassidy Bond, Cole Soup, Iron Ninja, Jonah, Corey's Not Fresh, Lime Spice XL, Logan Triplet Films, Ryder Harrison, The Artsy Fartsy Guy, Tim Neufeld, Tyler Goodrich, Yobi Perkins, Zachary Stonebreaker, Zero to Hero 148, and ZZ Toasty for being spectacular fanboys on my Patreon. This is Matroy Boy 17 coming at you live. Be responsible, everybody, and I'll see you around.